live, and we're doing a cold open. For anybody who's here,
Sorry, let me
we're
turn my
just
phone
cold
down.
open. We just did the thing, and theoretically, I can still play music. It's not like, oh wait, that's right. I don't mute you if I mute Google Chrome. Dope. Welcome everybody. We're just going live. We're just doing the
We're
live stream.
just going live into the Matrix.
Yeah, if I don't know if you disagree, call the number. But welcome everybody. We're doing our render and argument stream, and Kenzie has joined us tonight. Welcome,
Hi, thank you
Kenzie.
for having me, Jeff.
I'm glad you're back. This
I'm
is dope.
feeling like less of a redheaded niece.
And we're vertical. How do you like the vertical layout?
I do. I like the vertical layout. I think that's always like now very difficult for a creator is a horizontal or vertical layout because most people do watch content, including YouTube content, on their phone.
Yeah. For me, like the thing I want to get to at some point is like obviously the dual layout thing, but I'm a measure 100 times, cut once kind of person. So I'm gonna check all the formats, the flows, and all of that, and then get to the exact layout that I like. Oh, you were in. Well, did y'all get anybody good in Bees Live?
Anybody good? No, not really.
Well, good as
I
in
mean,
like,
we got guests, but
yeah, that's what I mean. Like anybody. I guess when I say good, I mean like clippable.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I that's a low bar.
Because some of the admissions in Bees Live are outrageous. Like
Oh, 100%. Like, this one guy, the
nuts.
last guy that I was talking to before I came here, he was like, "I hate feminists. They're so evil." And so I'm like, "Fine, I'll engage with that." And then just said the most vile things. I'm
Wow.
like, "Can you hear it? Can you hear yourself?" Like,
I'm I'm way too I I feel sometimes I feel bad because like being as old as I am, right? I'm a I don't know if y'all can no y'all can't hear that. Okay. Being as old as I am, like I'm an 80s kid. I do not have the the gene to how do I put this? Ignore like this kind of foolishness. Like I just don't. So like
what do you classify like an 80s kid? Like, I was born in 86, but I always
you're
say I'm a 90s kid because that's when my conscious was like online.
well, you're the same age as my little sister, so I would say you're a 90s kid.
Yeah.
But but I'm just saying like goofiness like the stuff that I hear on Bees Live would be responded to with bullying from in the age that I grew up. Like we would just call you names and it would be merciless because what kind of deviance is this that you're just like showing that you don't like women? What? What are you doing? Hold on, let me lower this.
Is that you?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
putting
okay.
just music in the back.
Um, it's really funny you say that. I actually just got a DM from a guy where he says, "I hope a man finds you." And I'm confused. I'm like, "Are you wishing me love or are you wishing me death?"
Like, but see that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, there's no reason if you're not like if you're not doing something, and I don't want to say like relationship wise, because that's not what I mean. But like, if you're not contributing to a conversation, being creepy and goofy like that, that's dork stuff. Like that's actually, I believe, why Solid says dweeb for these people, because that's the mentality. Is like, you said some weird stuff. We have to get you. Like, we have to. There's just no way around it. So that's my first mental reaction, is to just call the person a dweeb and make sure that they feel bullied. Like, not take them seriously.
I'm a little bit in the middle. Like, there's definitely people that I crash out on and bully, but also, like, I feel so many people are rage baiting that I just don't want to give them the satisfaction of engaging in the rage bait, so I just ignore it. And then that makes them crash out more.
Yeah, I can hear that. I can see that. By the way, W to Mia in the chat, doing our screening for calls, and we're doing
Thank
something.
you, Mia.
I didn't even tell you that today there's a new requirement for the guests that come in, which is basically, I'm gonna need to hear some pronouns today.
Oh, wow.
So,
asking for pronouns.
So part of the screener script has just the update to the people on the phone that they are aware that when they come onto the stream, they will be required to provide pronouns. No, you're not late. You're right on time. 100%
It's cute.
on
You think
time.
they know what that is? Like, so many people are like, I don't use pronouns. Just cracks me up.
That's a benchmark. That's a benchmark to hit. Like, you know how you talk about doing a pull-up, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is a pull-up. Just saying, letting me know that you at least passed the second grade and retained something from that age, like that era of your life, which is just regular grammar. Yesterday I had a conversation with somebody. I won't go too far into it because they were actually, like, we deemed them to be having some sort of episode beyond the initial conversation, but they said that the only pronouns for humans are he and she. That's not true. Like,
whoa.
Like, that's just not true.
What do you think about that, Jeff?
Yeah, like, it's just silly because there's not a, like, factually, there is not a rule in English grammar that says what you have to do is use just these two when you're talking about human beings. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form. So.
Yeah, people refer to their dogs as he or she.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, she's such a good girl.
And people use literally every type of pronoun for humans, including it. In some cases, it is a viable pronoun for a regular
it's a boy.
person. Yeah. So, like, just, these are things that you can just factually say, like, no, that's incorrect. And fighting me on it is just telling me that you don't know grammar and you're just making up stuff just so that you can be bigoted. I don't, like, that doesn't help me. That's the,
I don't know if they're making it up, though. I just think they're stupid.
Yeah. And again, all of it is just to avoid just a very simple 1-syllable or 2-syllable activity that makes life inclusive for people. It's a silly thing.
It really is.
I'm gonna try to be a little nicer. I used a lot of my not niceness earlier today. I felt like 3% bad about it, which is like 2% more than I usually feel. Do you know who Russell is?
Russell?
RASOL.
No.
All right. He's mostly known in atheist spaces, and I usually refer to him like a pet that atheists keep around. Like, he's a theist, and he's like a little chihuahua. Like, you ever been to somebody's house and they have a little dog and they just stick to your socks?
Yes. I don't
they-
like little dogs for that reason.
They nip at your heels.
Yes, or I step on them.
That's him, right? So you'll usually find him in chats and like in different live chats just talking shit. And I don't mind that. Like, say whatever you want to say. Nobody takes you seriously. You're a, yeah, exactly. You're an ankle biter. You're just chilling, right? But today he made it personal and he specifically called me out, and then he joined the panel, and what happened after was not, it was bad. It was really bad.
When was this?
It was this morning
Whose panel were you on?
on a person named Heathen Deacon.
Oh,
It
okay.
it was really bad. Like,
I love
yeah.
that donkey on was it Ari's panel? Whose panel was it? Where you brought up, you were debating 1350 and then you presented the alternative of 3080.
oh, yeah, that was another atheist panel, I think.
It was AG's panel.
Yeah. That was AG's
Yeah,
panel.
that was so satisfying to watch. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
was howling. It was so good.
But okay, so real quick, and yeah, it was on TikTok, but I do not consider those like W's. It would be like if somebody from the NBA walked into like a high school and started like pushing high school players around. Like just a random racist on a panel who's trying to be homophobic talking to me about 1350, it's not a fair conversation at all.
It's not, but still, it was like watching a half-court shot, nothing but net, just like, no matter what it is, you're just like, it's so good! Like,
The actual comedy there is that somebody like that thinks they can just walk into any room where there are debaters that do it all the time and just start saying stupid stuff and just go, hey, I did one Google search and I debunked your whole thing. Like, people are talking about this every day. And if you think that the person you're talking to has not done the minimal work of just turning on Google, right? Just turning on Google one time. If you think that person hasn't done that, you're out of your mind. Like, you're
I mean, to be fair, there are some TikTok debaters I don't think who haven't done that.
But that is true.
Someone wants me to ask you about bulldozers.
Bulldozers.
Is it an inside joke you're unaware of?
Maybe. Unless they mean like somebody being like a bulldozer in a conversation.
Specifically, Brett's bulldozers.
I'm supposed to remember that. You know what? Yes, that is. I do remember now, but I remember, but I don't remember, and it has to do with the other night, and it has to do like when I joined Brett Cross's lives late at night. I'm on autopilot. Like, my filters are off. I'm just saying stuff and writing it, and like stuff goes from brain to mouth, and the recall is zero. So, remind me. The thing I do remember from the other night was that there was somebody who was very homophobic, like super homophobic, and I have a challenge for homophobes, and that is, let's see how many sentences you can get through without saying something gay. And the person that was on Brett's panel, within 4 sentences, said something about dildos and butts. And and the second they said it, Sean appeared like magic on the panel. Like pop! Just appeared on the panel as if summoned by some Akata deity. And said,
She is good
what,
like that.
yeah, like, what did I just hear? And I'm like, that was too perfect. There's just no way that just happened. Like, impossible. But that's what happened. And the rest, I mean, it got worse from there. Like, you think that they got to that point? It got worse and worse and worse.
There was one woman. Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
There was one woman today on Bee's Debate Live, and she was saying, like, my man thinks all women are disgusting. He thinks they're ugly. And we're like, girl, is he gay then? Like, what do you mean? She's like, no, he says I'm the most beautiful woman ever. And we're like, honey, he's telling you you're a beard. Like, it's okay.
That's not a... I don't know what kind of a flex that is. Like, it would be different.
Well, she was debating body count.
But it would be okay. So even there, if it would be different if he finds every woman attractive or a bunch of women attractive, and he chose you, right?
Yeah, I even pointed that out. I'm like, just like, and Ty pointed out Jay and Beyonce. She's like, what are you talking about? Like, Beyonce is gorgeous, and she still got cheated on. Like,
So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think people think about the things they say before they say them, and then it puts them in this position where they just said a thing and it's literally not a flex, like literally not.
I do think she might have been trolling because I don't know. Like, she was saying she was 103 pounds, and then gave us like I'm on magazine covers. They weigh me. They measure my waist, and like we looked her up, and I'm like, no, this is not 103 pounds. Like, and I'm not critical. I don't like being critical of women's bodies like that. But if you're gonna say you're 103 pounds and you're at least 130, like, no, that's not the same. Why are you lying?
There's the 1989 Batman quote has that about like Kim Basinger in there, where he asks her how much she weighs. She says 108. They go up in his with his
Kim Basinger? Do you mean Nicole Kidman?
No, Nicole Kidman was in Batman Forever. Kim Basinger is in the 1989 Batman, and so he
the one with Michael Keaton.
Yeah, he shoots up his grappling hook, and they go halfway up to
you're
where
right.
they
You're right.
need
You're
to
right.
go.
Okay, my bad. Millennial fail.
So he lets her go the rest of the way up, and he jumps down, and when she makes it back down, he looks at her and goes, "You weigh a little more than 108." And there was no reason to put that outside of like the comedy beat, but it was there, right? And so I see what you mean. But if you're going into a room to try to flex on women, then fair game, like fair play, I guess. If you're in the chat and you want us to have more people, here's how you can help. A couple of ways. First, if you haven't hit the like button, what is you doing? If you're on TikTok and you're wondering, why do I hear Jeff's voice from far away and he's not talking to us? That's because you should be over on YouTube watching Render an Argument. Also, if you're on TikTok, tell other people on TikTok that I'm not over there. I'm over here on YouTube with y'all. The second thing is continue to... No, I haven't watched that, Finch. But continue to chat in the chat. The more chats you do, that also puts us on whatever passes for an FYP over on YouTube. I don't know what they call it. What do they call it? The shorts feed? The feed? The shorts? Does anybody know?
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, shorts.
It's just is it like, so it's just shorts? It's not like the shorts feed or some sort of like...
It just says shorts at the bottom.
Okay.
If we're talking like in the app.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it just says shorts.
So there's that. And yeah, so like doing all of those things, hitting the like, the actual hearts at the bottom on YouTube don't do anything. But continue to chat, continue to share with your friends, and we will get somebody here eventually to call in and give us stuff. Somebody mentioned the Barry Horowitz reference. That was also this morning. Man, I said a lot of mean things this morning. And I tried not to. Like, I tried to like keep it to the content. But I was a little annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, definitely when I get in that mindset, I say all the mean shit.
Yeah, it was hella annoying. I see you, Blink. It was annoying because like there are certain people in the Thea circles that I assess them myself, and I don't go with the group think of that person sucks, so I hate them. And so I don't treat them the same way everybody else does, and I try to be nice to those people. Oh wait, did this just reset itself again? Hold on.
What are we resetting?
No, my camera reset all this. I'm supposed to like save the settings. That's what it is. All right. I've got this like.
Okay, I'm watching you on YouTube too. Oh wait, I don't know if I can. Here, I need to mute it.
I've got
There we
this
go.
stupid auto thing. Let's go. That's perfect.
I want to see the chat.
Mm-hmm. No. That's clean. Oh, that will be clean when the sun goes down. Cool. Let me see how that looks. How does that look to you guys? Is the lighting better? Worse? Before I do that, let me just save that so I'm not like grasping for lighting later. I could probably make it a little lighter, but I'll mess with it later. All right, cool. You do get ops like that also. Like you do get ops where oh, that reminds me of another thing I gotta do. You do get ops where like clearly they should know better. They should know that they're outmatched, and they still like just say the thing as if they are.
Oh yeah. God, I forget what night it was. Maybe it was Sunday night. I went live at like 11:30 my time, and this kid was talking so much shit in the chat. Just so much shit. Like, oh, that's a stupid argument. You have no idea what you're talking about. Andrew Wilson dunked on you. Like, so he clearly knows who I am. And he joins the live, and we start debating, and just concession after concession. Like, I think within, I want to say 30 minutes of him being up there, he was like, the attitude and the bravado and the performance he was doing just went away. He was just like a normal person.
That's satisfying. Like seeing the life drain from their eyes. That's all the hope and the like from the voice when they come in and they're like, "Ooh, yeah, that's satisfying." If you're rating from solid, you should be rating over on YouTube, not on wherever this is. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you guys like a 5-minute warning over here on TikTok. And yeah, I'm going to grab my Ethernet cable. Can you say stuff for a couple seconds? I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. So I want to tell them about the movie.
Promote all your stuff.
Oh, okay. I don't know if Jess just caught me, but we are streaming on Twitch. We are streaming on TikTok. I was hoping if we get a larger audience, we'll get people to call in on the number. So if you are interested in debating, obviously we're not doing TikTok debates right now. We're over on Jeff End of a Species. Number is right on the screen. I even removed the Twitch chat so that everyone can see it a little bit more clearly. You can call this number and we'll get you on. The topics are pro-abortion, feminism is good, and biblical morality sucks. So please, we would love to have some intellectual dialogue with people who disagree with the topics. For me, if you would like to follow me, if you are on Twitch and TikTok, you can see all of my handles on the bottom. If you're on YouTube, you can follow me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Blue Sky, and Substack. It's a variation of either Miss_Kenzie or how you see my name on the screen right. Alone. It came out in 2020. Oh, I'm back. Yay. It's a horror movie. My son's really into horror movies. So I'm like, yeah, sure, let's watch one. It's about this woman, and I'm telling y'all, when you get like really deep diving into certain theories like feminism or racism or ableism or just gender in general, you'll start to notice like how much the information you know becomes relative and like even just media you watch. So within this movie, there were so many moments of just like where feminist analysis occurred, like her being polite to the guy in the beginning. Like both me and my son are like, just blow him off. Don't be polite. He's a creep. And I think there are 3 or 4 times in the movie that they were interacting, and she was finally rude on the 4th. We're like, I don't even want to say rude. She was just like, I don't want to talk to you. We're like, W. And then there's another instance where, so that guy ends up kidnapping her and putting her in his basement in a hunting cabin in the middle of the woods, and she ends up escaping. And they're in the middle of the Pacific Northwest wilderness, and she ends up running into this hunter. She has no shoes on. Is clearly been beaten, and she's telling him like, this guy kidnapped me, I escaped from his cabin. They end up getting in his car, he's giving her a ride, and a tree's on the road. So then they end up running into the guy that she escaped from. And so now this hunter, who is a man, has a choice to either believe what the kidnapper is saying, which is that this is his sister and she's having a psychotic breakdown, or believe the woman, that he is in fact a serial killing, murdering bad guy who hurts women. And his hesitation, I'm just like, really? After all the evidence you had? And even just like, there is more harm done not believing her than not believing him. So even if you're like, there's no way she could be telling the truth, like just believe her anyway. Like,
just err on the side of caution.
Yeah, like if you don't believe him, what's the worst that could happen? Nothing. Hi,
Now,
Gino. W solid raid.
W solid raid. Do you think it's written that way on purpose to highlight that, or do you think it's just like second nature to write that in?
That's a good question. Obviously, I do think, you know, art represents life, so it could be second nature because that is just how life is. But I did read some reviews on the movie afterwards, and Roger Ebert said that he thought it was intentionally put in there as like an analysis of patriarchy. So other people thought it was like intentionally to represent patriarchy, but I don't know if it was intentional or not.
Roger Ebert said that?
Mm-hmm. Well, this movie came out in 2020.
That's crazy. That's pretty cool, actually.
Because he died, didn't he?
I missed the title of the name.
It's called Alone.
Alone? I don't actually know. Let me check.
Oh, wait. He died in 2013. Never mind. I guess it was just RogerEbert.com. That was the review on RogerEbert.com.
Oh, okay. And they still...
Man, I didn't know he had been dead that long.
Oh, they still do reviews in his name. That's...
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is Richard Roper.
Oh my God, did I read it wrong? Am I like,
No,
it
no,
was
no, no,
Richard
no,
Roper?
no,
Oh,
no, no,
okay.
no, no. Because there's like they got like Peter something something. Yeah, it's probably just here like that. But well, yeah, there we go. Wait, who says Star Trek is better? Wait, like
They must be having a fight in the comments. I don't know.
oh, y'all must have gotten some info to say to me from when you was on Solids Live. Like that's just gonna bounce off me. Like they're not comparable. Those two things, Star Wars and Star Trek, they're two different things. Like 100% different
They
things.
both have stars in the title, though.
They do have stars in the title. But
So clearly they are the same.
well, then by that rationale, so is Star Search.
Exactly.
Star Search is.
Thank
the
you for
same.
the concession. Duh.
Hey, look, if you're willing to bite on that bullet, I will give you the full victory here.
I was trying to be an op since we don't have any. I was trying to bring the rationality and mentality to the stream.
Yeah, and you know what? I do see like people like piling in and coming in and swiping in and all of that. Again, if you're out here, I already have seen at least two people in the chat say stuff that is a disagreement with one of the prompts. Let me go over them. The first one is pro-abortion. I was gonna write 9 months plus 90 years, but it's a lot to put in that spot. But just know that that's my position is 9 months plus 90 years. But pro-abortion, if you disagree that we should be pro-abortion, hit us up. Let us know. Feminism is good. That's all Kenzie. But I could chime in. I just know both of these were suggested by Kenzie, so I will indulge my niece at every turn, just so y'all know. And then
He told me I could pick two out of the three. I wasn't insisting on that, chat.
look, if you had insisted on all three, I would have probably. Nah, actually, I need to have the God joint on there. But yeah, why not? Like you're doing me a solid. You're jumping on the rendering argument. Of course, you get to pick topics. We want you to snack on some ops. And so if you're an op who thinks you can out snack, just call in 240-896 EoaS. That's 3627. Biblical morality sucks.
If you are Jay, is it Dwyer or Dyer?
Jay Dyer? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, go ahead. Call in Jay Dyer.
If you are Jay Dyer, this message is for you and you alone. Please call the number. Debate Jeff on biblical morality. I will not say one word.
That's not a thing that won't go well for. Like, I think I can find some additional, like, hate in my bones for, like, the Darth Dawkins and Jay Dyers. No, Jesus was not a good model to follow. Absolutely.
Who's the
not.
father-son team that Alex O'Connor is always debating?
Oh, I don't know their names, but I know who you're talking about.
We want those guys to call in. You can even 2v1 Jeff.
2v1 is crazy, but yes, you can. 100%. Yeah, let those people know. Hey, if you want to know what Jesus did that wasn't good, 240-896 EoaS, 240-896-3627, and we'll talk about it. If you think that, like, look, I'll give you just the 4 books of the gospel. If you think the 4 books of the gospel are a good guide to morality, hit me up and let me know, and we'll have a chat. If you think that at any point we should restrict abortion, call us, let us know. And if you don't believe in feminism, yeah, do the same thing. Hit us up, let us know.
Yeah, Brian, roll up.
roll through and do the thing. We have the most professional screeners in the biz. We have the most professional debaters in the biz. We'll bring you right up and have a combo.
Yes, I'm really eager for an abortion debate. Like, send this to your pro-lifeiest, Phil Broiest, Brosif.
100%. We do have one call being screened right now. So
Ooh, how exciting.
I'm gonna give it a shot to. You know what I have to do? Did I not add you as a host? I think I did.
I have no idea what that even means.
If you, I'll send it to you on. I'm gonna double check, but I'll send it to you on Discord. So it's just so you can see the calls as they come in. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What do you guys think of
Yeah.
my... So I found another light string or light set that I had, and I added it to the back of my shelves. Thank you for the sub on Twitch. Thank you for the follow, W. I'm getting you a huge audience on Twitch, Jeff. We got 5 viewers.
Oh, are you streaming on Twitch at the same time?
Yeah.
That's dope. All right. Now it's a party. So, so yeah, I just sent you the link. If you go there and just click on my shows and click host next to render an argument, you'll be able to see the calls as they come in. And then when Mia types the notes, you'll be able to see the notes.
Did you said you sent it on Discord? Okay.
On Discord, yeah.
Will
As I
it
was instructed.
Will it kick me out?
No, it should open in a second tab.
Oh, okay. Wait.
And just pull the tab onto a separate window and you'll be good. You'll be good to go. But you're definitely on there. 100%. Dan, did Solid just end now and a bunch of y'all jump ship early? Hey, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Uh-oh. We lost Kenzie. Maybe the window closed? Here we go. Is it the same? Is it the same link? Because if not, I gotta add the new link. Let's cancel this. We'll just add you here. I think you're back now. If you're not frozen.
Dope.
Okay.
I think I fucked that all up. Which means my stream is not streaming anymore. Where is it?
Okay.
Okay, we're back.
All right. Cool.
I totally boomered that shit. So I don't need to see the I don't need to see the call thing right now. We'll do it next time.
All right, cool. So we've got Hansel, who is 30, coming up, and wants to talk about biblical morality, saying it does not suck, and they are rocking and rolling. Let me bring them into the line. Hansel, can you hear me?
Hello?
Awesome.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you, and you're just confirming it is Hansel, you are age 30, and what are your pronouns?
He.
All right, perfect. He, him, it is. Let's see how this looks.
I was the one that commentated about Jesus earlier,
Sure.
and you said to come up
Yeah,
about
absolutely. So I'm
Yes.
guessing.
So, sorry.
I'm guessing, at least in some sense, you think that Jesus is a good model to follow for morality.
Yes, I would say so.
Okay.
What do you?
No, I think it's a terrible model to follow.
Why not?
Several reasons. The most important for me personally as a black man is that he is a model for proto-racism, as shown in Matthew 15 with the Canaanite woman and Mark 7 with the Syrophoenician woman, who went to him to try to get healing for her daughter. I think that was pretty bad.
Did he not heal them?
Yeah, I don't think that's relevant. I think everything that happened beforehand kind of negates it.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Do you know the story of the Canaanite woman?
The woman he called a dog and then accepted her into the promise to be saved?
He didn't accept her into the promise to be saved at all. No, but he did call her a dog.
Could you bring the verse?
Sure. He just said your faith has
I will
healed your daughter.
follow along. What's the verse?
It's just Matthew 15. You can start at 21.
Okay, one moment. I am pulling it up.
So Jesus left that place.
15. The faith of the Canaanite woman. Okay.
Yeah. Jesus left that place and went away to the district of Tyre and Sidon. Just then, and while I'm reading this, I want you to think of, say, the Jim Crow era here in the United States. Just then, a Canaanite woman from that region came out and started shouting, "Have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David. My daughter is tormented by a demon." But he did not answer her at all. And his disciples came and urged him, saying, "Send her away, for she keeps shouting after us." He answered, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But she came and knelt before him, saying, "Lord, help me." He answered, "It is not fair to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs." She said, "Yes, Lord, yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Then Jesus answered her, "Woman, great is your faith. Let it be done for you as you wish." And her daughter was healed from that moment.
That is great news.
Terrible stuff. Look, I think
She was accepted?
no,
No?
her daughter was healed. She was not accepted.
It says, "Great is your faith"?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that her daughter's faith is great?
No, that's her faith.
So why would Jesus say her faith is great if she wasn't accepted?
Well, because her faith was great. Like, he should have known that from the fact that she traveled to go see him. Look, if your daughter is sick and you leave her to go find this magic man, that should be enough information to say that it's faith. But on a side note, do you want to read what happened 8 chapters prior in Matthew 7, verse 6?
Okay. Give me a moment. Matthew what?
Chapter 7, verse 6.
Okay. About judging others. Okay. Do I read or do you read?
Yeah, go for it. You give it a read. Let's see what Jesus
Can
thinks
I
of
can I
dogs.
start at the beginning?
Sure.
It's 6 verses. Judge not that you be not judged, for with the judgment you pronounce you will be judged, and with the measure you use it will be measured to you. Why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, "Let me take the speck out of your eye," when there was a log in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Do not give dogs what is holy. Do not throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be open to you. For
Yeah, so
everyone who asks
real quick,
receives,
what are you not
and the
supposed
one
to do
who
to
seeks finds, and
just-
the one who knocks, it will be opened.
just really quick? What are you not supposed to do for dogs?
Do not give dogs what is holy, and do not throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you.
You see, that's what he called that woman.
Okay, and she repented. That's why she had faith.
She did not repent.
Repent means to change your mind. So if she was a dog and she came to him who could heal his daughter, she must have changed her mind.
She did not change her
Because
mind.
she was not given the promise because she was not of Israel, correct?
She did not change her mind.
Well, so if she is Canaanite, which means she is not in the promise,
Mm-hmm.
why would she come to the man made supposedly only for Israel to ask for help? She must have changed her mind about who he was.
No.
And that is why Jesus then said,
can you
"Great
do me
is
a
your
favor
faith."
and read Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2 and save your soul, my friend?
Deuteronomy?
Chapter 4, verse 2.
What? Okay. What verse?
I can
Two.
I can pull these up if you want, Jeff.
Yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse
What?
2.
Okay. I will read from the start.
Mm-hmm.
So Moses commands, the title Moses commands obedience. And now, O Israel, listen to the statutes and the rules that I am teaching you, and do them, that you may live. And go in and take possession of the land that the Lord, the God of your fathers, is giving you. You shall not add to the word that I command you, nor take from it, that you may keep the commandments of your Lord God that I command you. Your eyes have seen that the Lord
that's the
did
relevant
at
part.
Baal-Beor,
Hold on.
for the Lord your God destroyed from among you all men who followed the Baal of Peor.
I don't know if you don't hear me.
Sorry?
Do you know how
Sorry?
incredibly obnoxious that is when I'm saying wait and you just keep rolling through?
I'm sorry, I did not hear you. I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah, so the relevant part that Jeff wanted to highlight is do not add to what I command you and do not subtract from it, but keep the commands of the Lord and your God that I give you.
Okay, yes.
So nowhere in the verses in Matthew 15 does it say that she changed her mind or repented or any of that.
So she was an Israelite or she was Canaanite?
She was Canaanite.
Is Canaanites in the house of Israel?
Absolutely not.
Really? You don't know that?
So I know. I'm asking how then did Jesus accept her?
Because she referred to herself as a dog. She knew her place.
No, she put her faith on him who was not for her.
What was her response
So
to him
she
again?
must have changed her mind.
You're
no?
adding to it again. What was her response to him?
I have to go back 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew
15.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew 15 what, Jeff?
The whole story
She
is
said,
21 through
"Yes,
29.
Lord, yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." So if she is Canaanite, she has a different master, and yet she calls Jesus her master and wants to have the crumbs that fall from it.
Yeah,
So she must have changed her mind from her master
again,
that she
you're
worshipped
just
as a
adding to
Canaanite
the
to the
text.
master of Israel.
You're just adding to. You're
I think that's-
literally
I'm
adding
pretty
to the.
sure
You
that's
are
just what it says.
You are literally adding to the text.
What did I add?
So just point to me the verse that it says, "And she changed her mind."
Who's the master?
I'm just going to ask.
That she's
This is the
responding
second.
to.
So this is the second attempt at this question. Can you point out the verse where it says she changed her mind?
No, I cannot.
Okay, so you are adding that. We're in agreement.
Can I ask you
Mhm.
a question?
Sure.
Who is the master referred to in 27?
Lord is Jesus.
Who's the master, not Lord?
Oh, and I could say Jesus again. Yeah, that's fine.
Is the Canaanites' master Jesus?
Who knows?
Or is it a different God?
Who knows and who cares?
Okay, I guess.
Look.
Okay.
Let me put it this way.
It doesn't make sense.
Do you have?
I'm sorry.
Hey, do you have any children?
It doesn't make sense.
Do you have any children?
I prefer not to say.
Okay, let's pretend you did, and one of them was sick, and I have medicine.
Okay.
Is there any name
Okay.
you wouldn't call me to get medicine for your children?
Are you a doctor?
I have medicine. Is there any name? If I'm the only person
like a
with,
random person?
I'm the person who has medicine.
Sure, I guess.
So if I told you, hey,
suppose.
I have this medicine, call me master. Would you call me master to save your child's life?
Did Jesus say that? Are you adding into the text?
I didn't ask you that. I'm asking, would you
Okay,
call
I'm
me?
sorry, what did you ask?
I'm asking, would you call me master to get medicine?
If you acted the same way that Jesus acted, I suppose I would, yes.
So if I called you a dog and I say, hey, you're a dog, would you then call me master? You'd be like, yeah, I am a dog and I want my master's medicine. Would you do that to get medicine for your kid?
If you were Jesus, yes.
I'm Jeff.
Because
Bro, I don't even know why this has to
You're
be
not-
Jesus. If my child was sick, I'd call Schmittler Master to get them medicine so that I could heal my child. Like, what are we talking about?
You would. Okay, so I don't see
Absolutely.
the problem
Yeah. Now
That
I'm
I would
asking,
call
So there is no
Schlittler
problem.
Master to save my child? That's a problem?
so just really quick.
No, Jeff
just
thinks
really
it's a
quick.
problem.
No, I think it's a problem to wait for that to happen to give you medicine. Like, look, when black people would go to all white hospitals,
The world is messy,
I don't know.
no?
I
The
have
world is
no
messy, no?
I have no idea why you're talking right now. When black people went to all white hospitals in the 40s and 50s and referred to themselves as hard R's, as N-words with the hard R, in order to get their kid, like their kids were, there were black people turned away from white hospitals, right? You are aware, right?
Yes.
And so when they go to white
Okay.
hospitals and they go, yes, sir, I am a N-word, sir, but please, can you heal my child? And they get some aspirin or something and they get sent away. You think that's cool?
Did it heal the child?
Sure.
I
You're about
suppose
me.
that's a win then. No?
That's a win.
Is it cool though?
That's a win.
What does cool matter in the game of life?
In the game
Should
of life.
someone have to refer to themselves as derogatory terms or that they are beneath someone in order to get access to medicine is the question.
I think what's the problem that if I can go on for just a moment, I think the issue that I think I've realized is that you're placing yourself above Jesus morally when Jesus is perfect and the perfect good. So
No, he's not.
everyone that
Look.
not Jesus is a dog.
No, we're just
as
asking you if
the
this
scripture
action
tells
that
us.
Jesus committed
No.
is moral.
So I'm trying
Actually,
to. I'm
gonna
elucidate
demonstrate.
my position, right?
I'm gonna demonstrate to you how wrong
in
you are.
regards to
Can you
Jesus,
continue
I would
reading
always
chapter
refer to
15?
myself as
All
a
right,
dog.
here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not tolerating this anymore. Right now, you're about to get muted. Can you continue to read from verse 29 on in chapter 15 and tell me who along the Sea of Galilee he called a dog?
29.
Yeah, 15:29. Continue reading and tell me which of these nice people he called a
Okay.
dog.
Jesus went on from there and walked beside the Sea of Galilee, and he went up on the mountain and sat down there. And great crowds came to him, bringing with them the lame, the blind, the crippled, the mute, and many others, and they put them at his feet and healed them. So that the crowd wondered when they saw the mute speaking, the crippled healthy, the lame walking, the blind seeing, and they glorified the God of Israel.
Dope.
Jesus then called his disciples to him and said, I have compassion on the crowd because they had been with me now 3 days and have nothing to eat, and I'm unwilling to send them away hungry, lest they faint on the way.
We can stop there. Did he call anybody in that crowd a dog?
There is no quote from Jesus in those verses.
Did he call anybody there a dog? Was anybody there referred to as a dog in the text?
Jesus wasn't speaking in those verses.
I'm just going to ask the question. I'm just going to ask the question again. Was anybody there highlighted in the text to be a dog?
From before, yes, but not there, no.
No, there. So the Canaanite woman, and look, let's not play with each other and try to say everybody's dogs. He did say, I only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You admitted as much, right? When you said, is she an Israelite? So clearly you are aware that his healing was reserved for Israelites. So, I mean,
at that time, yes.
At that time,
but
listen.
But it extended to the Canaanite woman too. So
because she referred to herself as a dog. Look, just the fact that you enjoy racism doesn't mean anything to me, right? Like the fact that you enjoy
Who said
the
I
fact
did?
You do. Like you said you did.
This is an assumption of yours.
No. You literally said you did when I highlighted for you.
When did I say I enjoy racism?
I'm in the middle of explaining and you're interrupting for some reason. I have no idea why. But when I highlighted for you the hospital that is for whites only, and somebody referring to themselves as an N-word and getting aspirin, you were like, it's a W in the game of life. That was you. You said that.
Is it not?
No. Absolutely the fuck not.
Sorry, my phone messed up. Could you repeat the last second?
Absolutely not. I don't think it's cool to have somebody go to a hospital and be called a nigger in order to get a thing of aspirin. No, I don't think that's cool at all. I don't know why you would think it's cool.
I don't think it's cool. I think it's cool that you would get help and be saved or get medicine.
Yeah.
Just like the lady said that she would accept medicine from, I don't remember what she said, but what did you say? You accept medicine from someone?
From Hitler.
And that would be good? Yeah.
No,
okay.
It wouldn't be, no, it wouldn't be good. It's something that she would do for her child. Kenzie, do you think it would be good if you went up to you think you're in a good scenario if you had to go up to Hitler and refer to yourself as a dirty whatever to get medicine for your kid?
No.
That's not a good thing.
So
I don't know why you think it's a good thing.
This is an ought, not an is?
What do you mean an ought?
I don't know. I don't know what you think. Like, this is what Jeff is describing, is that within the passage, someone had to demean themselves to Jesus in order to get access to something.
I don't think they had to at all. I think
They're
what
being
happened
called,
that
they were referred to as a dog.
She knew she wasn't in the house of Israel, so she referred to herself as this. And Jesus took her faith.
Hey, chat. In the house is crazy. In the house is diabolical. In the house, I would say,
Israel, right?
is nuts. In the house is quite
literally,
crazy town. She knew she wasn't in the house, is what you said. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
is that what you heard,
house
Kenzie?
of Israel?
You heard she wasn't in the house.
It is. I mean, they're not a Canaanite, yeah, or they're not a Israeli. Like, you're right.
Yeah, so I'm confused.
You just don't see it, right? Let's do another thing. You said that Jesus was perfect. What does that mean?
To be perfect?
Yeah, what does that mean? What does that mean to you?
Yeah. If I remember, give me 1 second, please. Here.
Mm-hmm.
Is James 2,
Sure.
verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, For whoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. So to be perfect is to keep the whole law
I agree.
perfectly, not
Cool,
one
cool.
fault.
Cool.
So
What is the
because
law?
if you commit one fault, you are guilty of everything,
Dope.
even one lie.
Got it.
So
Got it.
Jesus
What
would have never done anything
against the law?
that would have been considered against the law.
Dope. What does the law say about forgiveness of sins?
In what way? Forgiveness between like people, forgiveness
No. Mm-mm. If you
against
sin, you're not
a nation,
look,
forgiveness,
forgiveness of sins. That would be breaking the law of God.
sins against who?
So atonement of breaking
oh.
the law.
So the judgment, the end, is that what you're asking?
No.
Okay, clarify, please. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying when somebody sins and they want to atone for that sin.
Okay. So if before Jesus' incarnation, there was a system of sacrifice placed to foreshadow what Jesus would do for all of us at his death.
That's not what it's there for.
and burial and resurrection.
Yeah,
So
I'm
afterwards,
gonna ignore that you're
I'm
adding
sorry?
to the text again. You can. It's just Leviticus 4, Leviticus 5, Leviticus 16. It's just sacrifice. It doesn't say anything about Jesus. It's just sacrifice.
No,
That's all
but
it is.
Jesus is the
The lamb.
is the culmination. No, is the culmination. So if you know Abraham and Isaac, right?
That has nothing to do with Jesus.
So when
Is Jesus the
so when
perfect lamb?
Abraham went, can I show you?
It doesn't say Jesus there.
Can I show you?
I know the story. It doesn't say Jesus.
So Abraham told Isaac before he sacrificed it, before he was going to sacrifice him, that he wouldn't have to because God would provide the lamb for him.
Yeah. And what did God provide?
The lamb, which is Jesus.
He didn't provide a lamb. He provided a ram. But are you saying that Jesus is the lamb that is sacrificed for sins?
No, I'm not saying that. The Bible says that.
Okay. What is the lamb supposed to be when you offer it for sins?
Blameless, spotless.
And
Clean?
female.
I'm sorry, what?
And female.
Does it say that? Can you show me?
Sure, it's Leviticus 4, verse 32. Leviticus 4, verse 32. If the offering you bring as a purification offering is a sheep, you shall bring a female without blemish.
Okay.
So, the sacrifices went until Jesus died, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that means that from Leviticus, when they said you have to do sacrifices, up until the moment that Jesus was on the cross, in order to atone for your sins and keep the law, you would have to do a sacrifice, correct?
I suppose.
Okay. No, I don't want suppose. I just want a clear agreement that that is the law. That in order to keep the law, you would have to do a sacrifice for any time that somebody wants forgiveness of sins.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's no other way to forgive sin without the shedding of blood. The scripture says that, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Cool. And so if somebody does this without a sacrifice, that would be breaking said law, correct?
There are rules if you can't shed certain animals, you must do other things. It is said,
Like give grain,
Scripture.
yes. Give
Be a
grain.
dove,
Yeah, there's always a
incense,
sacrifice, correct?
grain. Sorry?
Or you can bring money, by the way, you can bring money to the temple and
Sure.
change it for a sacrifice, right?
But if you don't, you can bring wheat or things.
But the point is, there's always something you sacrifice, correct?
I suppose, yeah.
Okay. Are you familiar with the paralytic in Mark 2?
What does paralytic mean?
The man who was paralyzed in Mark 2?
Oh, okay.
You're familiar with that story?
What verse?
Just the story. Mark 2 from verse 1 to, say, 11, 12.
I can read it.
I just want to know if you're familiar with the story.
I have heard of it, yes.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and read it and just tell me what was the sacrifice here for a forgiveness of sins.
And again he entered into Capernaum after some days, and it was noised that he was in the house. And straightway many were gathered together, insomuch there was no room to receive them, no, not so much as about the door. And he preached the word unto them, and they came unto him, bringing one sick of the palsy, which was born of 4. And when they could not come nigh unto him for the press, they uncovered the roof where he was, and when they had broken it up, they let down the bed wherein the sick of the palsy lay. When Jesus saw their faith, he said unto the sick of the palsy, Son, thy sins be forgiven thee. But there were certain of the scribes sitting there, and reasoning in their hearts, Why doth this man speak blasphemies? Who could forgive sins but God only? And immediately, when Jesus perceived in his spirit that they so reasoned within themselves, he said unto them, Why reason ye these things in your hearts? Whether it is easier to say to the sick of the palsy, Thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, Arise and take up thy bed and walk. But that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sins, he saith to the sick of the palsy. And I say unto thee, Arise, and take up thy bed, and go thy way into thine house. And immediately he arose, took up the bed, and went forth before them all, insomuch that they were all amazed, and glorified God, saying, We never saw it on this fashion. And he went forth again by the seaside, and all the multitude resorted unto him, and he taught them. And as he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus, sitting at the receipt of the custom, and he said unto him, Follow me. And he arose and followed him.
So, really quickly,
Well, beautiful.
What was the sacrifice for this forgiveness of sin?
Jesus?
No, he hasn't died yet. He's still alive in this part.
Jesus died for past sins, as Abraham said.
Wait, that's not true.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Time out. We just agreed that to keep the law, complete the law, right? You have to follow the rules of the law, right?
Yes.
And in this case, it was not followed.
It was?
No, it literally was not. Otherwise,
Jesus died for our sins.
Yeah,
and
this is
you
code.
have faith
Look,
on
if
Jesus.
that was the case, then all of the sins that were punished from Exodus to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John should not have been punished, right?
They're only punished if they don't believe on Christ.
That nobody believed on Christ in the book of Jeremiah. Nobody believed on Christ in the book of...
Yes, they did.
Who believed on Christ?
Abraham believed on Christ.
No.
Abraham met Christ.
Abraham did not believe on Christ in the book of Jeremiah.
Yes, he did.
Where is Abraham in the book of Jeremiah?
Not in the book of Jeremiah.
So then
in the book of
I'm going to say the thing I said again, and the next time you interrupt me, I'm just going to mute you. Nobody believed on Christ in the book of Jeremiah. Nobody believed on Christ in the book of Isaiah. Nobody believed on Christ in
Yes, they
any.
did.
No, they did not.
Isaiah 53.
That's about Israel, but also nobody says Christ
It's
there.
about Jesus.
No, that whole chapter is about Israel.
It can't be.
It has to be. It can only be about Israel.
How can Israel take the punishment for Israel?
No, Israel takes the punishment for everybody else. When, look, in
No.
Isaiah, listen, in Isaiah, throughout the entirety of Isaiah, when Isaiah refers to the servant, who is the servant?
Jesus.
You sure about that?
I can read it. Surely he has borne our grief
I said,
and
it doesn't,
carried our
listen,
sorrows.
stop talking.
Oh, sorry.
Listen, I said throughout the book of Isaiah, when it says servant and it indicates who the servant is, who is it referring to?
Depending on the context, it could be Jesus, like in 53.
It does not mention Jesus in 53. I'm going to ask you one final time, and then I'm just going to get rid of you. In the book of Isaiah, when it says my servant and specifically indicates who that servant is, who is it referring to?
In which specific chapter?
The entire book.
Can I ask a clarifying question real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Does the context of the word servant never change in the book?
I'm just going to ask, well, the context is the same throughout the entirety of Isaiah, but that's irrelevant. Is anybody besides one person? No, listen. Does anybody else besides one person get mentioned as a servant?
More than one, yes.
Who?
Israel, the Messiah, Jacob.
Tell me where it says, well, who's Jacob?
Well, Jacob is Israel. Israel,
good.
the nation.
So Israel,
and the Messiah,
Israel and
also
Israel.
known as Israel.
Israel and Israel. Where does it say Messiah?
Well, that would be the suffering servant that he's talking about.
Where does it say Messiah?
The word Messiah or the concept of Messiah?
Where does it say Messiah?
It doesn't then.
Okay. You're just adding that.
Is the concept not there?
No.
You believe that?
I know that.
Can I read for you?
What is the Messiah supposed to do? When it's referenced, what is the Messiah supposed to do?
I'll read. Yeah. Oh, okay. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows.
That's not mentioning. No, listen. Listen.
Can I?
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Can I read where it's talking about him?
No. You're just adding it. Listen, that's the part that's in contention. I'm asking you, when there is a messianic prophecy that you and I could agree to, what does it say the Messiah is going to do?
His soul will be an offering for sin?
It doesn't say that. Let's just read it together. Like Jeremiah 33.
Verse 10 says it.
Listen, if you reference Isaiah 53, you're just begging the question. Obviously, I disagree with you. I have many references in Isaiah that reference the servant, and they specifically. Where'd Kenzie go? Did this happen again?
It says, "Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him; he hath put him to grief."
Listening.
When,
you're not listening.
When thou shalt
and
make
so
his soul an offering for sin.
I'm just going to mute you. You are now muted. You are not listening, and that's starting to annoy me. Every time you read, I'm not reading Isaiah 53 to bolster my case, because you're going to disagree with me that it is Israel. So you reading Isaiah 53 to bolster your case doesn't mean squat. You're just reading words and saying, this is Jesus. It's not Jesus. I'm saying it's not Jesus. So what I'm asking you to do is find a reference to the Messiah outside of this chapter that tells you what the Messiah is supposed to do. That's what I'm looking for you to find. I'm going to unmute you now. That's what I'm looking for.
In outside the chapter in Isaiah specifically?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me a moment to look for it?
Fine.
I don't know exactly the chapter.
Is this
verse.
the only messianic prophecy you know?
No, there's many more.
What other
want a
messianic
different one?
prophecy do you know?
Give me a moment. I'm looking for it right now. Psalm 22.
Okay.
My God, why hast thou forsaken me?
That's
Why
not a
art thou so
messianic
far from helping
prophecy.
me? Jesus repeats this because it is
That's
him.
great. So if I repeat it, am I the Messiah? That's not a messianic prophecy. That's
Many
David.
bulls have
That is
compassed
a
me.
that's
They
a
gave to palm me with their mouths as a
that's a lament
Sorry?
song, right? It's a
Well,
series
so
of 3 poems.
Can I
It's a lament
can
song,
I
right?
can I read
Written by David.
Can I read 3 verses to show
Holy
you that
shit.
it was Jesus?
Does it say Messiah there?
It does not say.
Is God directly
Messiah.
saying he's promising anything there?
No.
So then what the fuck are we doing?
They have pierced my hands and my feet. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed on me.
Uh-huh.
They part my garments among them, and they cast lots upon my vesture.
Okay. Does it
The
say
Romans
Messiah?
casted lots for his clothes.
Yeah, they casted lots
pierced
for a
his
lot of
hands and his
clothes.
feet.
Is Simon Bar-Kova the Messiah? They casted lots for his clothes.
Did
They pierced his hands and feet. There were wicked people around him. Does it say Messiah in Psalm 22?
Can you show me where they casted lots for Peter's coat?
I said Simon Bar-Kova, not Simon Peter. Simon Bar-Kova is a member. Yeah, he's a person in history. He was killed by the Romans for a rebellion around the time that the temple fell. You can look him up. This is around, I believe, around 70 CE.
70 AD?
70 CE, yes.
BC?
But CE, Common Era. Listen, I don't care
when did
about
Common
this.
Era start?
That's
I'm
just
sorry. Go ahead.
how historians refer to it. But I don't care about that. I don't even think Simon Bar-Kova is the Messiah. My question to you is, if it doesn't say Messiah here, why are you making it a messianic prophecy?
Do you believe things can refer to things without mentioning it verbatim?
No.
Oh, well then, okay.
Not
Wouldn't
a
that be
prophecy.
adding?
If things must refer to adding what?
That's adding. Like, look, if a prophecy is supposed to be like, I say some random stuff and then some other stuff in the future matches it, I'm like, aha. That was a prophecy, man. I predicted some shit.
This is just removing all context.
No.
It's just
Ooh,
verbatim
not the
fallacy,
context.
isn't it?
No. Listen, what is a prophecy?
A forbearance of something to come.
Okay, great. It's supposed to be something impressive, right? Because you're telling the future?
No, it doesn't necessarily. It's impressive, the thing itself, but not necessarily the
Ooh,
the
you're gonna
act
drink
that is
water
happening.
soon.
Like, so if I said headphones, right? And then I went to the mall and I saw a kid wearing headphones. Is that a prophecy?
Self-fulfilling, sure.
What do you mean self-fulfilling? It's not my kid.
It's not
I just see a
self-fulfilling.
random kid at the mall with headphones.
If you stayed at your home, would you have seen the kid?
No.
No. So then it wasn't fulfilling. So it's
Wait. No.
if you say a thing
I
and then
say to
go
my
to a thing to make that thing happen, it is self-fulfilling, no?
no. I don't know who's at the mall. I just told him. I just said I got in the car. I look at my wife. I say headphones, and then we drive, and then we go to the mall, and then we're walking in the mall, and we see a kid wearing headphones. Can I now go to my wife and be like, "Aha, I'm a prophet"?
Self-fulfilling prophet, yeah.
I don't think you know what that means.
Self-fulfilling prophecy is when you say something and then you make it true by your actions.
Oh, okay. So when Jesus said, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And then he committed blasphemy in order for him to, knowing that the Romans do horrendous things when they crucify people, then that's just a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That makes no sense.
Wait. Did Jesus say the words, my God? Like, do you think Jesus didn't know the Psalms? Did he know the Psalms?
That wasn't what I said.
I'm
I
just
was the
gonna
one that
ask the
told you he
question. I'm
said
just
that.
gonna ask the question again. Did Jesus know the Psalms?
Yes.
Okay. And so Jesus repeated the words of the Psalms, right? And nobody at that time considered that a prophecy. That was a lament by David. So he just repeated the words of the Psalms, supposedly, right?
Did you read the whole psalm?
He repeated the words, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Was he familiar with how the Romans treated people who were charged with blasphemy or sedition?
I suppose.
Okay, and they did crucify people and steal their clothes and cast lots for them. That's something that Roman soldiers did, right?
Yes.
And Jesus did.
But not at the time of David.
And wait, Jesus knew this psalm, right? He knew the entirety of this psalm. He knew Psalm 22, right?
That is correct. And when
And
David wrote it,
he
this
is
wasn't the
familiar,
thing.
and he is familiar with the fact that Roman soldiers routinely did this. And yes, they did it at the time of David as well.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did.
Crucifixion was not a thing in the time of David.
It doesn't say crucifixion in Psalm 22, but they did steal people's clothes and cast lots for them. Absolutely did.
Is this splitting hairs?
No. Does it say crucifixion?
Does it not say they pierced my hands and my feet?
Does it say, is that the only way to pierce hands and feet is through a crucifixion?
Was Jesus pierced through his hands and feet?
I'm just going to
by
ask the
crucifixion?
question. This is the second time I'm asking this question. I'm just going to note that you didn't answer it the first time. Is the only way to pierce hands and feet by way of crucifixion?
No.
Okay. You are aware that in the war with the Philistines, at least one person was sent out to just collect foreskins, right?
What does this have to do?
You are aware that in the war with the Philistines, at least one person was sent out to collect foreskins, correct?
And this means...
I'm just going to ask the question a third time.
I'm confused.
Are you aware?
Yes, okay.
Are you aware that one person was sent out just to collect foreskins from their enemies?
Can
Are
you
you
show
aware?
me?
I'm just asking if you're aware of that, yes or no?
I am aware now, yes.
Okay. Do you know who that was?
Can you show me?
Do you know who that was, yes or no?
No.
Okay.
What is their name?
David.
Okay. And what does this have to do with it?
What is the fact that people already pierced different body parts and collected them? What does that have to do with David having a reason?
Did it say that the
I don't know
foreskins
why
were
you're talking.
pierced?
I don't know why you're talking right now. What does the fact that they already collected body parts and pierced them have to do with David having a reason to write that they would pierce body parts? I don't know. Nothing.
I don't
But
understand.
it's 1 Samuel 18, if you really want to find it.
And they pierced the foreskins before they collected them?
No, they collected for you. I don't know how you collect foreskins without piercing them. I don't understand.
You cut it off.
That's not piercing it?
No,
Do
you
you
don't
think
cut off your ear. You pierce your ear.
do you think wait. Do you think that they were giving the hands earrings?
No, they drove a stake through his hands.
Do you know what
They didn't
piercing
cut it off?
means?
To drive something through something.
It's breaking skin.
Since when?
Since the word pierce. Kenzie,
Yeah, I
am I
think that's
tripping?
No. Like stabbing someone would be piercing their skin.
Sorry, could you repeat, Mackenzie? I did not hear you.
Stabbing someone would be piercing their skin?
Yeah, but scratching would not be.
Right, because scratching doesn't break through the skin. It's just a surface level.
Would cutting a finger off be piercing someone?
Yes.
This seems like a stretch. No?
Well, I mean, it seemed that you thought pierce did not mean break the skin. And you agreed with my analysis
like-
that stabbing someone would be piercing the skin.
Is pierce flattened to only mean break skin in your view?
Yes. Well, I mean, obviously contextualized, it could mean different things. Like I could pierce a balloon, which would break the skin of the balloon. But I thought that was the objection, is that you said pierce does not mean to break the skin.
The finger off, if you cut the finger off, would that be piercing?
I mean, you have pierced the skin,
Yes.
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 This seems strange.
Pierce by, I mean, if you want to look it up, we can go to Merriam-Webster. Pierce means in entering or cutting through with a sharp pointed instrument.
Are you just broadening it in a way to accept any form of bodily?
Are you just
harm
broadening
that
it
would
to
break
just
skin?
How
accept
many,
the
like,
crucifixion?
do you want me to read all 5 definitions on Merriam-Webster? Like, I feel the definition that Jeff is using is very, very common.
It just seems like you're pulling at a thread that it just doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
Do you understand?
Can you read? No,
what
I
I'm
don't.
saying?
But can you read 2 Samuel chapter 4, verse 12 for me?
2 Samuel. Oh, what chapter?
Chapter 4, verse 12. And
Okay.
anybody that disagrees with one of the prompts, go ahead and call in. We're wrapping this call up fairly soon, and so I do want to get Kenzie to talk about abortion. So if anybody disagrees with the pro-abortion position, please call in. 240-896-3627.
I'm sorry? I didn't mean to speak.
No, you're good. It's 2 Samuel chapter 4, verse 12.
Okay. And David commanded his young men, and they slew them, and cut off their hands and their feet, and hanged them up over the pool in Hebron. But they took the head of Ishbosheth and buried it in the sepulchre of Abner in Hebron. Amazing.
Yeah. So
And this means what?
nothing at all. Zero things. It doesn't mean a single thing at all. It just means that you know, we're done with the call. That's all it means. It means we're done with the call and we're waiting for a new person. Here's the thing, right? All of you in the chat that are disagreeing, I see you, but neither one of us is going to debate with you in the chat. That's just silly. We're going to debate with you up here. So I got you. Zay, can you say something in the chat? So yeah, if you're saying a bunch of stuff, we're also not going to mute you in the chat, like unless you say something bonkers, right? But I do not want you to have the wrong impression and think that we're going to debate you in the chat. What you need to do is call this number, 240-896-3627. We'll get you screened and you'll get right in to have the conversation, especially all of you out there talking about abortion. Zay, I don't see you. Not for nothing, Kenzie. I ended that just because I got bored of the continuous, over and over, like, just like, nuh-uh.
No, I think you really demonstrated that he didn't know what the Bible said.
I mean, like, there's only so much of the book I could take before I start like seeing cross-eyed. But if we're just gonna read it and we're just gonna be like, hey, where it says the thing about the hands and feet, that's a stretch. And I mean, I guess we could have gone down the route of which prominent scholar of the time said that I'm scrolling here looking for Zay, but which prominent scholar of the time would have said anything about that being a messianic prophecy in Psalm 22? And the answer would be absolutely zero. Hold on. Let me see if I can just... Oh, it's not letting me add him. He's not... I don't think he's here anymore. I don't think they're here anymore. I suppose I can just do it manually. There we go. Something happens in OBS where I got you now. Something happens in OBS where it removes certain chats and I have to like refresh the chat. Sean, I got you too. But guys, really, stop saying goofy stuff in the chat. Wait. Is this the same Frank? And you're saying daddy? You get 1 minute. For that, you get 1 minute. We'll just work
He's
our
calling
way
you
up.
daddy?
Nah, he talking about other people's daddies. 42 degrees is nuts. But yeah, let's Frank, let's call in if you don't like abortion. Any single person who has made any comment about everybody hates abortion, everybody is against abortion, just call in. This should be easy. This should be an easy dunk for you. Like, imagine thinking you don't want to be, imagine thinking you're not pro-abortion and that's cool. Imagine that. Imagine being so pressed that you're going to write stuff in the chat, but you can't have a conversation about it with two heathens. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Hansel, look, Kenzie wasn't saying that you said you knew the Bible and didn't. Kenzie was saying that you didn't know the Bible. And that's true. Like,
Not calling you a liar.
that's
Calling you uninformed.
factually true. Like, we went through a bunch of verses, you know?
Hi, Sean.
Sean is here. And yes, it is Miss Kenzie, and not just if you're nasty.
That's hilarious.
Cole, what you're doing is boosting a mentally unstable person's view count and not taking the opportunity to debunk us. That's all. Freedom of religion. Y'all are so triggered. For real. Like, super triggered for no reason. Mellow out.
Cole, even if we have debunked ourselves, wouldn't it be nice if you did it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've debunked myself. That's not cope. Hey, there's a topic on the screen that says we're pro-abortion. And Cole thinks that the entire debate is, check it out. Kenzie, you're pro-abortion, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna LARP as pro-life. You ready?
Yeah.
Hey, Kenzie, you've already debunked yourself.
Ooh. Where?
Burn! Got him.
The end.
The end.
And scene. I didn't know you were a theater kid, Jeff.
That was the greatest yes and in history right there. Like, I don't understand what y'all think you do. Like, who is this for? When you write, hey, you've debunked yourself, right? When you say, hey, you've debunked yourself, right? Who's that for? Who's that for? Not for me. I'm gonna look at you and laugh, right? But not for my chat. They're laughing at you as much as I'm laughing at you. And when I say, hey, I'm not debating you from the chat, and you should call in, and then you write more stuff in the chat, it seems like you're irrational. It seems like you're doing the thing. Like, we know. Like, I'm not really. There was one day that we browbeat somebody into calling, and they were just god awful. They were just bad at it. So I'm not doing.
Oh,
that
really?
anymore. Yeah, it was so bad.
It's always the loudest ones in the chat. Like I was telling you that story earlier. That kid was just comment. You're so awful, and then joins the live and just.
Yeah.
The bravado, the confidence, the audacity all goes away.
It was super bad. Like, super bad. Not the movie. It was just bad. But in the case of, like, just, I don't know. It's just bad. But that's why, like, I say I'm not gonna, like, debate you in the chat. Because it's just silly. Like, super, super silly. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, cool. My phone is going crazy. But my call-in line is not, and I see a lot of people still doing the chatting. Still doing the chatting. Look, mods, if you think somebody is just spam and a bot, you can mute them. And the fun part about on YouTube is that you can mute them for a whole day if you want. You could do a full 86,000 if you really want. For those that say
my phone is going off too. That's so crazy.
I know why mine is going off, but we have there's people here. Oh shit, Petty's here. Yeah, like if you just click on somebody and say put on a timeout, do you hear Winnie? Do you hear that?
I do, yeah.
She
Was that Winnie who came in? The white dog?
No, well, Winnie's been here the whole time. She's upset now because she hears the people that are at the house. Yeah, but if you're slurring, you're gonna get repeated timeouts until you're not here no more. And literally all you have to do is call in. That's it. Look, if for any of these topics, if you successfully get through the entire debate and debunk our position and establish yours through the rendering of an argument, right? I'll just take the topic off, and then it'll be a huge W for you. Isn't that cool? That should be awesome. Come here. You want to climb up? Say hello?
Puppy break. Oh my
Hey.
goodness.
Hello.
Is that a Labradoodle?
She is a pure poodle, but we thought she was a golden doodle until we got her DNA.
Oh. Not Jeff doing a 23andMe on his dog.
No, it wasn't us. It was where we got her. They
Oh, okay.
I think they did a mandatory thing and sent it to us. We were surprised because we just got something in the mail and it said, "This is your report for for your dog." And I'm like, "What the? We don't want this." But they just did it. Yeah, poodles are smart, but they're also super stubborn. Like I couldn't even. It's off the charts when they get to a thing that they don't want to do or a thing that they're annoyed of. They will go to the ends of the earth just to show you like that wasn't cool. They are stubborn. Like stand on business stubborn. Like you bring bacon out and they're like, "Nah, you're not understanding. I'm not fucking with you right now." Like for real. For real.
So you're saying your dog has denied taking bacon from you?
If she's mad, she will deny treats. She will deny hugs. Like we had a dog years ago, a German Shepherd mix with a bunch of other stuff that was very affectionate, but when he was done with you, he would just kind of get up and walk away. This is worse than that. This is hurt your feelings, walk away.
We had a dog like that too growing up. Her name was Zoe. And Zoe was the youngest dog that we had, and the other two older dogs died. And then we just had Zoe, and then I got a puppy. And Zoe had very little patience for the puppy. She had no interest in the puppy. It was just like, you'll learn the ways of the world soon. But it was so funny. Like me and my friend Julia would take the dogs for walks, and we would always, include Zoe, and she would go with us. But if we like stopped and like drank our coffee or sat down, she would look at us like, "Are we not walking anymore? Okay, well, I'm gonna walk home then. Like, you enjoy." And she would just leave us and walk home.
And would she like just wait outside like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're here? Can you open the door, please?" Trying to get in. Yeah, Sean, by the way, is our dog's attorney. Like if I'm on the phone with Sean and she hears me yelling, she's like, my clients. I'm like, yeah, your client's about to get in big trouble. They about to like sleep in a separate room. No, they're innocent. She'll do a whole defense attorney thing. Yeah, she also represents Gia. So when Gia like breaks something in Chelsea's house, here comes Sean. My client is prepared to waive their lawsuit if you waive the charges.
Wow, Sean being a part of the bourgeoisie class lawyer. Knew she was a fake commie.
You heard that, Sean? You were called I think that you were just called a lib.
It's a dirty word in our circle. It's a slur. It's a slur.
Straight up lib. That's dang. Yeah, I have no idea why. Look, as much as it was like we could say whatever we want about Hansel, but they called in. He definitely called in. That happened. That is a thing that occurred on this stream. The rest of y'all, the slur was lib, Jimmy. But the rest of y'all that were talking all that oobajoob and then for whatever reason are deciding not to call in, we need y'all to call. So
because their wives or moms are home.
Oh. Is that it? Are you not able to talk because your mom is home?
Yeah, or their wife, and they have these positions that they don't like.
Are you not able to say it in front of your mom? Are you not able to say that you're like pro-life?
I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
All right. But is that what it is? Are you like really like afraid to say pro-life in front of your spouse? Is that what's going on? Don't say it ain't so. I thought y'all were like the people, the gender thing, right? No? They already do, Jimmy.
Gosh, is it fucking telemarketer hour? I've seriously gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 calls in the last hour.
Well, that's kind of nuts.
That's insane.
Petty, no. Did you see what Petty wrote in the chat?
What did Petty write? No,
Sean's gonna do Jubilee with Good Trouble.
Good Trouble is gonna be on Jubilee?
With Sean.
With Sean?
Yeah, they're gonna sit next to each other and talk about how Kamala Harris was the absolute best.
I knew Sean supported cops.
Sean's gonna have the "We're not going back" pin. We're not going back.
We would have gotten free. We would have gotten housing.
Credits. It is ACABES. ACABES. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Is it ACABES? ACABES? Whatever. ACABES.
Why don't you request up, Lib? We should do a Lib topic one of these days.
At one point, at some point, I would want to do like a more like all-encompassing hangout. It'll be difficult to manage, I think, on Video Ninja. Like I think it would be a little difficult to manage.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you, from what we talked about the last stream, do you think me getting an Ethernet cable would fix it?
It might. Like, I just the one of the interruptions that we had was me connecting my laptop to an Ethernet cable. So I am connected now, but I think your quality today is good. I think it's been good. There's been a couple of skips where like the frame rate, but outside of that, it seems like it's good. I've been monitoring it.
Yeah, I was streaming on OBS to Twitch and TikTok, and a lot of people were saying the live was lagging there, which I don't understand why it would, because I'm only on an internet browser connected to you and then running OBS. Like, I don't feel that should be a big thing for my computer nor my internet.
Sometimes with OBS, the bit rate matters. So like it'll give you whatever it is, like say for Twitch, I think they max out at anywhere between 6 or 10,000 kbps. YouTube does higher bit rates, but there's sometimes where I go ham and then I'll get a message like, hey, you're sending too much. Matter of fact, I just got that. It says the stream's current bit rate is higher than the recommended bit rate, but that's just because OBS is oversending. But if your bit rate's too low, then you're gonna have issues. So I don't know if that might be part of it.
That was all great to me. Where do I even see bit rate?
Rates. In OBS, you would see it at the bottom. I don't know where you would see it in. Let's see if I can see it here. Show stats. I mean, just your resolution is dope here.
I did decide to use my webcam rather than my Sony camera because I don't know, maybe if that was too much for my computer to pick up through, I don't know. Trying different things. I feel I've invested a lot in my setup and I'm still annoyed I have problems. Like,
well, I mean, if it's your internet service provider, then that's gonna keep happening until they fix it. Like 100%. Like if it's something signal related, then it really doesn't matter what you do, unfortunately. I know with the last service provider I had, it would sometimes drop, like in the middle of a stream, the speed would drop to where it was like terrible. And every time I tested it, it would be them, which eventually is why I ended up on this one.
yeah, unfortunately here there's quite a monopoly on internet providing. Just because of like tower ownership. So yay, another L for capitalism, everybody.
Yay, capitalism.
Oh, my pizza's here. One sec.
Yay. Look, if you're anti-abortion, right, and you're in the chat, and you say you're anti-abortion, just pick up the phone and let your fingers do the walking. And now, the mods are getting, I see the mods are getting ornery. Yeah, they're getting ornery. What I might do, let me see if I can. Nah, Petty, you should be able to do all the things. I might open up like a web line for people to call in on.
Well, what's the difference?
They can do it from a browser if I open up a web line.
You think that's why they're not calling in?
No, I think they're chicken.
Oh, yeah.
But if I remove every possible, if I remove every possible hurdle, then there's no reason for them to like not do the thing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and drop in here. Oops. Oh, the dogs are gone. I'm going to leave this up for a little bit just to see if that's what it is, and I'll pin it. So the overlords have generously opened up a WebRTC line. So you can call from your browser if you want, if you don't want to dial the phone. I'm going to use this very sparingly because there are a myriad of reasons why I prefer people calling in. But if you are shy about using the phone and you want to use the browser instead, go ahead and click on the link in the pinned comment and call that way. But again, no, look, Tyler, I'm not humiliating anybody. Again, if you're pro-choice, I'm good with you. I don't know what is the distinction between pro-choice and pro-abortion if it's not just a performative one.
Are you asking me or are you asking Tyler?
I mean, actually, you know what? Let me ask you, because I know you've kind of popularized saying pro-abortion, at least in our circles, and I would say even broader. And I agree with your reasoning, but why do you think somebody who is in fact pro-choice would push back on that?
I just don't think they recognize the stigmatization of choosing abortion. Like, a lot of women don't want to, like, everyone can say, oh, I think she should have a right, but abortion is bad. And abortion is this negative, immoral, dirty word. And just like any medical procedure, it's not. So even when we talk about choice, if someone wanted to be a mother, I would support them being a mother. I would be pro-mother. Like, great, good for you. You decided to be a mom. I'm pro-mom. I think you should have all the tools to be successful. And so it's just maintaining that kind of perspective when it comes to abortion. Okay, you don't want to be a mom. You don't want to be pregnant. You want to have an abortion. Great. Pro-abortion. Let's do it. So it's really about the destigmatization of the word, as well as recognizing that it is an equally moral and valuable choice as becoming a mother.
So for me, it's as simple as I either support you or I do not. It's like really that simple, right? If I support you, then when you say pro-abortion, then that's what I support, period, case closed. If somebody goes, hey, late term, I think it's this, or I think it's whatever, I'm just looking at that and saying, well, then you might as well just go the rest of the way, because you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, and even I'm glad you brought that up, because even talking with you and thinking about it in a different context, I do not care about the personhood argument, because regardless if it's a person or not, I don't think anyone should be forced to use their body to sustain someone else's life. So I just grant personhood. Like, if you think it's a person at conception, fine, whatever, I don't care. And so there are a lot of conditions that people think are fine for a person to have an abortion in the first trimester, but then those conditions are no longer fine in the third trimester. And that doesn't make sense to me, because if we are centering choice. If we are centering bodily autonomy, then certain choices should be fine, whether it's first or third trimester. What's going on?
Yeah, if that's the actual position, will that fit? Yeah, I think that'll fit.
Will that fit? No pause?
No pause. All right, cool. But like, if that's the actual, if that's the view, then there should be no reason to say like anything except for, yeah, I'm actually gonna change it a little bit here just to make sure there's no like mistake.
In fact, I would even push back on a lot of pro-choicers who say they're pro-choice. If you think there should be restrictions, then you're not pro-choice. If you qualify your argumentation on sentience, consciousness, or personhood, you're not pro-choice.
Let's see if this happens right away. Do it. Why didn't it do it? Let's see. Oh, we got a call coming in.
How exciting.
Dope. Exciting. Ah, there we go. It did fix. So now we're very clear. Now we're super clear.
You mean with picture or with your words?
With the topic.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering if you were doing that in real time.
Yeah, like all I have to do is change the PNG file. And so because this is referencing the one, it just updates. I guess when I do it on my other laptop, it happens right away. When I do it on my iPad, it happens right away. When I do it on this, it doesn't jump right away. But I hear the talking. It's very strange. In the meantime, if you want to support what we're doing here, ooh, somebody got yeeted. Couple people got yeeted. I'm looking at this and they got straight like suplex. Out of here. Couldn't be me. But yeah, if you support the stuff that we're doing here and you support the move to YouTube, the call in, the format, the way that we're trying to get a little more organized, go to either links.endofaspecies.com and support us using either the pay links there or endofaspecies.com/support. And we will continue to improve what we're doing here. Hey, what happened with that person?
Oh, did they hang up? So sad.
It looks like they didn't survive the screening process. That's sad.
Oh no, they didn't survive the screening process.
Nah. And now we're getting a B raid. Welcome, B raiders.
Thank you, B.
We'll say welcome, B raiders. Hey, B raiders. And if you're here, I'm just gonna let you know we got a lot of really cowardly people who don't want to like just make a simple phone call. Very strange.
Not surviving what did you call it? The screening process is almost like a zygote not implanting into the uterus.
You didn't survive the kick.
You never became a pregnancy.
You didn't hold this block. Sheesh. Look, we've had one caller. They made a good effort, a valiant effort. And we had a good, like, I would even say, even though it got boring at the end, it was a good conversation.
Yeah, he was a nice kid. Wasn't he 30? I'm calling him a kid.
But what I want is for people to render the argument. That's all I care about. And if you're able to type, you're able to dial.
Stevie says he'll call now.
Well, we're gonna see. I'm gonna give the nobody has used the link so far, so I'm gonna give that another little bit before I.
Let's
before I
get
eat
into it,
out.
hun. Is he calling you hun or me hun? He's gotta be calling me hun, right?
Sheesh. Nah, whoever called just hung up, and so just call. We are not. What's the term? We're not mean. We match energy. And I already started off the stream by saying I used all my mean this morning. I used all of my mean this morning. So now I want people to get the nice. Get the nice. Somebody asked me if we know what we're actually discussing. You know, I am just an old man rocking behind a keyboard. But in the time that I've been smashing on the keyboard and hitting on the keyboard, I managed
That
to
I was stinky.
like, I'm not Western? What the fuck does that mean? Like, I'm not John Wayne?
I don't know what you mean by Western.
Like, I'm an
Bro,
American,
just
like,
join. Like, quit with
dog.
like the 20 questions. Just join. You'll find out if I know what I'm talking about. I don't know what the Western reference is.
Yeah. Yeah. Not John Dutton. Nah. Nah.
B said I'm canceled again? For what? What'd I do now?
Not. Well, I'll let y'all handle that.
Wartime is coming. You're telling us you're going to war, but you won't call in?
If you don't have the stomach for a debate, you definitely don't have no stomach for war. That's for damn sure. Yeah, in the realm of the Duttons, by the way, I'm a Beth Dutton fan. And I'll say it this way: Beth Dutton is here, and Shiv Roy is here. Beth Dutton, Shiv Roy. Beth Dutton is the shit. All I know is that's all I know.
You need to find a better chicken button.
No, that was me. What I will say is when people say they're tough and they don't call in,
Stop the cap.
right? Like that's all. I mean, like you just called in and then hung up on the bot. You know what I'm saying? On the bot, you hung up. That does not give me the confidence to say that you are like, yo, dope. 240-896-3627. Call in. 240-896, end of a species, EoaS. Let's just give it a shot. And if you can't dial, right? If you're that beyond the pale, just click on that little link in the pinned chat and you'll be able to do that from your browser. That's it.
Now Steve is saying that there's nothing to be discussed. What the fuck happened, bro?
One eternity later.
Yeah, I know
Beta.
peasants when I hear peasants.
It's just a
Hey.
beta.
Beta!
That's you.
Oh, there we
That's
go.
you, bro. That's you, bro.
I'll just end up getting angry. You can't like control yourself.
I'm really,
You'll
really
get
mad.
angry talking about things that don't affect you. Crazy.
Yiggity yikes.
Chad, I'm fighting with Belle over text. What should I say? She's calling me stinky. 4 eyes.
Stinky. Look. If it was me, right?
Mhm.
Me personally, if I, oops. No. If it was me, right? And I found out that the person, no, let me hold on. I don't know why they're moving. Okay, cool.
Not Sean saying Steve's just broke.
Sean's good for that. All right, I'm gonna do it on this side. Like literally here.
Get her, chat. Get her.
We are going to time you out for 5 minutes. Steve-O. 5 minutes. 5 minutos. Now, me personally, I wouldn't take that. Like me, I wouldn't take that. I would call in and tell me about myself. But I think you're not made of that kind of stuff. So you're not going to call in. But 5 minutes, 5 whole minutes? 5 minutes? 300 seconds? Like, for real? Some people, they just take that. Some people,
Take that.
I was just gonna
some
say you don't
people
have a
take
button.
that. Yeah, I do. I most certainly do.
No pause too. No
Yeah.
pause.
But if you call,
You ready, Mace?
you'll get this. But the problem is that I put the numbers to the EoaS part on the screen. I did that because when I first started, people were getting confused.
Yeah, I mean, it still is. Like if you pull up your phone and you go to the keypad, the numbers are still there.
The
Like the
numbers are
letters
right
are
there.
still under the numbers. But I don't know if, you know, like, I don't know if you, I'm sure you do remember this. Do you remember like watching Nickelodeon and they would have contests and they'd be like, we're going to open the lines now, call this to get entered into the contest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have that shit anymore.
No. Now it's
So
go to
I
this
don't
website.
know. Yeah, I don't know if kids these days had the pleasure of calling 800 numbers from infomercials, from commercials. Do you ever like hear an excerpt from a song and you're instantly brought back to one of those CD commercials where they would play just like get this CD and they would just play excerpts of a whole bunch of songs?
No, I mean, I remember seeing like CDs that would have a mix of songs, but not where they would just like play just pieces of songs, unless it was like a sample.
No, a
thing.
commercial. Like a commercial would be
Oh yes,
advertising
yeah.
a CD, and it would be a
Mhm.
whole bunch of different songs, and they would just play excerpts of each song. Sometimes I'll hear those excerpts, and I'll be flashed back to this commercial, and then in my brain, that segment will be playing, and then it'll go to a completely different song, and I'll hear that segment. So it's almost like it created its own song.
I wonder if now that's what I call music songs were like that.
Oh,
The
yeah.
commercials. If those
Man,
commercials were like that.
Nothing made me feel older when someone asked me, what's the first Now CD you had? And I'm like, Now. Like, I had one.
And then, of course, there's the CD club, like the Columbia joint, where it was, they would send you a thing in the mail. It's like 1 cent for XYZ amount of CDs, and then you're like a member.
Oh yeah, I do remember those.
I forget. I know the name, the word Columbia was in it. I gotta look up what it is. Get out of here.
I feel like you're only a millennial if when you hear Arms of an Angel by Sarah McLachlan, you automatically think about donating money to kids overseas.
Columbia House, that's what it was.
Or oh no, I'm sorry, that's the dogs donating to animal shelters.
Oh yes, Sally Struthers and them. Sally Struthers and them. I think it is Hyde then. 100%.
And then like also the other shit we went through. Like I remember trying to duct tape my boombox to my bike so that I could listen to music while I rode my bike. Like if there's one thing I could go back in time and show my younger self, it would be my phone. Like, don't worry, girl. One day you're going to have a device that you can put in your pocket and access the entire music library on Earth.
Knowing that a radio station was going to play, yeah, that was anxiety. Knowing that a TV show was going to come on and maybe you had a power outage that day and you had to remember if your VCR had the right time on it because you could program it to record at a specific time in case you didn't have the TV on. Anxiety. Yeah,
I mean,
all
even
of that.
answering the phone, not knowing who it was.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And having to stand
Yeah.
next to the wall because it's attached to the wall.
Yeah, too many memories with that. Some actually terrible, where you pick up the phone and you hear a voice, you're like, oh damn, click. Yeah.
Did you ever have the tape you could put in your car and it would hook to your CD player, to your Walkman?
Yeah, I had that.
That was revolutionary. Like, oh my God, I don't have to listen to the radio anymore. I can listen to my CDs.
And then there were various degrees of CD players that were like skip free, so that you could like be on your bike or be doing whatever you were doing. And if you, some of them would tell you, and you would roll with them. And the minute you bumped them a little bit, they would skip anyway. But there were some really good ones that like would tell you, hey, we don't skip, and then they literally would not skip.
Oh yeah, when I was in basketball, I was conditioning every day. So I would go for a run every day, and I remember I wouldn't give my cousin his CD Walkman back because it was anti-skip and it actually worked. Which was really stupid because we have the same last name. And so that's how our lockers were assigned, by last name. So I would, like, as soon as the bell went off, I would try and run to my locker so I wouldn't have to run into it. Be like, I don't have your Walkman. What do you mean?
That's funny. Look, I'm going to say it again. I know y'all are still here. You're not calling. Willow trees. I'm waiting by the willow trees. And look, what I'm going to assume is that you just agree with us. If you're not calling it, you just agree with us, or you're confident that you do not have any backing for your position whatsoever. None. You just believe it for And look, this is what bigotry is, right? When you believe something and you don't have a reason, you don't have an argument, you actually see evidence to the contrary, you still believe it. So you believe against these because you're a bigot. That's what it means if you're not calling in. Because I literally want to know if somebody can render an argument that disagrees with any of these. I've heard you say it in the chat. The chat is not where you render an argument. You would render an argument right on the phone. So 240-896-3627. Drop us a line. Let us know.
I know this is a thing with conservatives, and I think a majority of the people we talk to are conservative, but I really think you don't want to seek out information that's contrary to your view, because if you actually acknowledge that your views were not in line with reality, then your entire identity would collapse.
Yeah. The sad thing about it is that it actually does harm to people when they have these positions and they don't have a reason and they don't know what the effects are down the line, and then they are shocked when it affects them.
Yeah, like I'm really curious. Like, Charlie Kirk ran 1350.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like, he had a staff. Like, any information he wanted, he could have had a round table of people discussing these things. Like, I would think that's what he would want. Do you think he knew that the data wasn't good and just did 1350 anyway? Or do you think he was just not even capable enough to apply any analysis to it?
No, he knows. He knew. And the reason he knew, the reason I know he knew is because he was very prepared when he went from one place to another with his talking points. And you don't get very prepared unless you're practiced and rehearsed and you have people bringing that research up, right? I've said this about, like, I think we were talking about flow the other day for abortion. And for the people that do all this research and sit around and go, I'm going to do flow. If they look a little bit, they'll see a lot of the arguments that we hit them back with are published, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in that case, they're not doing the research. But if they had a research team that brought it up to them and they just go, nuh-uh, then it's, then you're just hoping that you can skirt past it. In the case of a lot of people that do 1350, at the point where they see the information, they start getting confused about, like, especially when you're looking at, like, the FBI tables and you say, okay, this information, you would agree it's incomplete given the fractions I've given you. And they'll go, yeah. And so when I say, hey, so then why should I take your numbers if you don't have analysis? And there's a confusion. Like, we're just they got this information and they just accepted it blindly. But now that we're doing the conversation and we're doing analysis, they want, well, how come you're not just accepting it? But to go back to Charlie Kirk, for him, it's not a surprise, right? He has seen stories that people publish where they go, here's why it's wrong, right? He's had the opportunity to talk to people in criminal justice with criminal justice degrees that say, hey, this is wrong, right? So he knew and did it anyway.
Okay. I do have theories about Erica Kirk, but Sean's here, and she gets mad whenever I bring them up, so I won't.
I would say Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I've heard you, say stuff about. I find some of it amusing, but I will say, like, somebody like Dave Rubin, on the other hand, Dave Rubin, I could say he doesn't know, and even when you show it to him, I don't think he has the capability of knowing. He just doesn't care.
I don't know. Like, grifting is so easy to do, especially when it comes to like your conservative audience, because they already have such heavy confirmation bias. They already don't read. So, it's just so easy to do. And I definitely feel like Dave Rubin is just grifting. He's just like, oh, I could make more money saying other shit than the shit I'm saying because this audience doesn't, fact check anything. Even though he's gay. And obviously conservatives don't like gay people.
Now, remember what we said what we were asking in the previous conversation. Like, what would you do to get XYZ for your kid, right? Mm-hmm. I think in Dave Rubin's case, he's doing whatever he needs to do to get that bag. That's it.
I feel Anna Kasparian is starting to get on that track. Like, I'm waiting.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I don't believe you, Randy. Call in and prove it.
What'd Randy say? Harris said men can use the girls' bathroom and play in girls' sports.
However, what's the challenge?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, you remember what the challenge is for these conservative weirdos?
To call?
See how many sentences you could go without saying nothing gay.
Oh, okay, yes. I
There
forgot
ain't
about that challenge.
There's no trans topic up here. There's no LGBTQ topic up here at all. Nada. There isn't even a lib topic like, hey, vote for such and such. When I tell you that these people are obsessed, right?
Oh, yeah, thanks for reminding me I'm not a lib. Yeah, we don't like Kamala Harris. She's a war criminal. Thank you.
Also, you know what?
You want to hear what Sean's done to me? No, boss.
I feel like
just realized how that sounded.
It's a trick question. I don't know if I should answer
So,
that.
this was a few months ago. I went on a date with a guy. And I remember being on the phone once with Sean, and she's like, I just hate libs even more than conservatives. And I'm like, really? Oh, that's wild. And so I was on this date, and I forget what he said, but we got on the topic of politics, and I was talking a lot of shit about libs. Like, I went to Nancy Pelosi and like insider trading and how much I hate Gavin, like just talking shit. Probably for like 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden I realize that I've been talking so much shit about libs, he thinks I'm conservative. And I'm like, fuck. I forgot where I live. And I'm like, no.
So he was conservative.
Yeah, he was conservative.
So he was like, yeah.
Yeah, he thought we had so much in common, and then I
got
killed
one
his puppy. Why did I talk shit about Nancy Pelosi? Because she does fucking insider trading, and she's like 100. Like, retire.
It's serious. A bottle of sparkling water. Imagine having a tiny, can't get past no cheeks. Eensy-weensy. Like, imagine not being a grower or a shower.
Would you just call that a knower?
Like, imagine being a knower. In 2026. unironically.
You are a sellout. Don't ever mention the Democratic Party out of your mouth, civilian. Why? Are you not for free speech anymore?
Imagine being a lib.
I'm a sellout being a commie? Like, what?
Imagine. All right, so
All that commie money I'm getting. Let's go.
We are bringing up Ryan to the. You're gonna like this. We're bringing up Ryan to the show, right? And Ryan is. Oh wait, I just saw it. Ryan's 38, and is ready for being anti-abortion. Ryan, when you hear, you should be able to hear my voice right now. Can you tell us what your pronouns are?
He, him.
Dope. All right, cool. And so you, welcome to the End of a Species show, Render an Argument, and you said you are anti-abortion ready?
I am, yeah, and hopefully it's not the end of the species.
Well, we're pretty close, but like that's a separate conversation. You'll be talking to my niece Kenzie, and whenever you're ready, go ahead and render your argument.
But for being against abortion at 9 months?
All 9 months.
And
Yeah,
are you for abortion at a certain period?
I'm not.
Okay.
But at the same time, I would offer a compromise in the topic. But I am a conservative, and I do believe that you're killing a human life, no matter if it's 5 months or 9 months or 1 month. It's a human life from the moment of first cellular division.
So I'm sorry. So your argument is you're killing a human life?
Yeah, at any point in a pregnancy, an abortion, I believe, unless it's to genuinely save the life of a mother, like an ectopic pregnancy, I think most of abortions are done through convenience. And I think deciding if someone lives or dies based on your own personal convenience is the purest definition of evil I can think of. And I don't think people are doing it on purpose. I think they've been tricked into it. And I do think abortion's evil. I think you're killing a human life. And if you were driving a dark road...
Just 1 second here, because you've kind of said a lot, and I want to make sure that I address these points. So it seems kind of like you almost contradicted yourself. So you said it's killing a human life. So is any time killing a human life wrong?
No.
No.
I think there are times when it's justified.
So why is it wrong in the case of abortion?
Because the baby's innocent.
Okay, so the baby is innocent. And what do you mean by innocent?
Yeah, I think killing is justified in self-defense or in punishment of a heinous crime like rape.
Well, 1 second.
Murder.
I just want to go off base. So you said the baby is innocent. What do you mean by innocent?
Innocent when compared to the people that I would want to actually have killed. So you're trying to point out the hypocrisy of me
when pointing out people that I would actually want to have killed. I'm sorry. I'm just asking you for a definition of innocent.
Innocent, a sovereign person. Who hasn't done anything wrong.
Oh, hasn't done anything wrong.
I think we all know what the word innocent. Hasn't done anything wrong, hasn't aggrieved anybody.
Okay.
A baby is innocent.
Okay.
Puppies are innocent. Even dogs
in the case, great. So you just said hasn't done anything wrong. Great. So if in the case that, you said you give an exception for someone having an abortion if the person who is pregnant is going to die. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case where the person is going to
rare
die,
cases.
In that case where the person is going to die, is the baby still innocent?
Yes.
Okay. So there are cases where it is okay to kill an innocent baby?
In self-defense, I think, and it's a
So that's
tough
a
one.
yes.
And theoretically, the only reason I say this is because I think there needs to be a compromise on abortion. I do think it's evil and it shouldn't be happening, but I think in order for us to move forward as a country, we need to decriminalize.
Look,
I think we should
I
do
really
like
don't care
parking
about
tickets
that.
or something like this.
I really don't care
Well,
about that. Like, I'm not interested in a compromise on my rights to my body.
but it's not your body.
It is my body.
It's inside of your body. Kind of like how
Correct.
like a slave
Is
is on
when we
someone
talk
else's
about
property.
where
but
is the
like,
one second, because now I feel we're kind of on a different topic. So I just want to make sure that
same
we are
topic.
on the same, or we're on a different section. I just want to make sure that this point
It's
is
about
hammered
respecting
home.
human life,
One
and
second.
because
I
it's
just
on
want to
your
make sure this one
property
point
doesn't mean it's
is
yours.
is hammered home.
You don't get to
You
decide.
do think it is okay
You don't get to
to
decide
kill.
what happens. Go ahead.
One second. It's fine. We'll get there. Don't worry. Just to be clear, you do think there are instances where it is okay to kill an innocent baby.
I think with life of the mother.
That's a yes or no.
Yes, very, very
Okay,
rare
yes.
instances. I'd say
So
96,
you've already said
97%
killing a
of the
human
time I'd
life
say
is
no.
wrong, and now that's not true. You said you shouldn't kill the baby because it's innocent, and now that's not true. Okay.
Very rare,
So
very rare acceptance.
so again, but now this makes your whole argument to abortion irrelevant, because you
Doesn't.
are saying it's not morally wrong to kill human life. It's not morally wrong to kill innocent babies. I don't know if we're talking about morally. We can even just talk about pragmatically or legally. So now we're kind of back to square one. Why?
Well,
What's wrong
I
with
think
abortion?
if you're faced with that decision of everybody dies or we have to kill the baby, that very
What do you mean
rarely happens.
everybody?
But in that quandary, I think it's justified. But I think
Right.
it's a very
I
rare and
understand that.
unfortunate quandary.
I
And
understand
I think
that.
the vast majority of abortions
these
are
are your
people doing it because it's
arguments.
convenient.
These are your arguments. So again, you really haven't given me an argument to why.
Well, that's what an exception is. There's a rule, and then there's an exception to the rule. And I think something like a genuine
right. So you would need to give me an
pregnancy
argument on why that's the exception, and why within maybe even elective abortions, why that would be wrong. Because you're fine with killing innocent babies.
because if you let's just say you let it go on and happen naturally, the vast likelihood is that baby will die anyway. So you're looking at a net loss of life overall. I think to save the most amount of life possible. That includes
That's
current
not
life,
necessarily
future
true.
life. But if a baby is going to die, like in an ectopic pregnancy, a baby cannot survive that. So if something needs to
Sure,
happen there in that
but that's not
circumstance.
necessarily true when we're talking about, saving the life of the mother in terms of abortion, because an ectopic pregnancy happens very, very early. But obviously, there are abortion procedures
Right.
that happen in the second and third trimester that are also for the life of the mother.
Sure.
Right.
And for the same reason, I think if it's
And in those
genuinely for the life of the mother.
instances,
Mhm.
there are options
Mhm.
to where the baby could live.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm not for that. If the baby,
So you
if the
think
baby
the mother
can,
should die and the fetus should live?
it's about balancing the risk. I think if it's 50-50, I think it should go to the mother, because there's a likelihood that the baby will also go down with that, because that the baby's health is dependent on the mother's health. So it's just 50-50.
So if you could
I
only
think you give
save
it to the
one,
mother.
which would you save?
I think it depends on the percentage likelihood of survival. It
Let's
depends on
just say
each
whoever you
individual
decide
scenario.
to save lives. So in the case that there's a pregnancy complication and there needs to be the termination of pregnancy, and the way we go about the
Mhm.
termination would either kill the fetus or kill the mother, which would you pick?
Could the baby live on and the mother is the scenario where the baby lives on and the mother doesn't, or does, because really in this scenario the baby can die too.
Correct. Yeah, that's
That's
the scenario I'm
I'm
giving you. The type of abortion you select will kill one of them. So, would you select an abortion that would save the mother and kill the baby? or would you select an abortion that would kill the baby and save the mother?
That's a really good question. That's a really good question. I would probably, it's so up in the air. I mean, philosophically, I have to go with the baby, but at the same time, you know,
What do you mean
I think we have to compromise a slight amount on the right, a little bit. And I think
We're not even
something like
talking about rights.
we're-
I'm just trying to gauge what you think about women.
I think he meant the right, like the political right.
Oh, the political right. Okay. So
correct, yeah. And
so
then
you would pick
I
to kill the
just think
mother.
that- go ahead.
You would pick to kill the
If-
mother.
I would if it was a 50-50 and one would definitely live. I see the likelihood of this even happening is so crazy, and we're talking about a fraction of all abortions. I think if we're at this point where we're arguing about 1% or under of abortions, you've already lost the debate, because the fact is that people shouldn't be deciding whether or not something else lives or dies. And
When it is
I'll give you
dependent on your
an
body, I
analogy.
absolutely think you do have that authority.
Let's take a few scenarios.
But before we
You're
do,
driving
can you
in a-
just answer my question?
What's your question?
Would you kill the mother or kill the baby?
I think I got the scenario correct, right? Baby lives, mother dies. It's in the very rare instance that that it even happens in the first place, and then an even rarer instance.
I mean,
of that,
I don't know what you mean by
that
rare.
we can
If
even
we look
decide.
at, I don't know what you mean by rare. If we look at statistics, sure, it's about
As a percentage
1%
of
of
total
abortions,
pregnancies.
but this is about 2,500 to 5,000 cases a year. So is that like
Yeah,
a
and-
small?
and-
Is that a small insignificant amount for you?
Relative to a whole percentage, 1%
No,
is
just
not a lot.
2,500 to
It's
5,000.
actually-
Like if you found out that mothers and doctors were always choosing mothers and 2,500 to 5,000 babies a year were dying, would that cause an issue?
I mean, it depends on what the trade-off is. If the trade-off is more life, then I wouldn't necessarily, be against that. I think a person knowingly goes into a sexual relationship for the most part. For the most part, they're not raped, and for the most part, there aren't issues with the pregnancy that would cause, death. But if we're talking about 95% of abortions, people are doing it as a form of birth control, and they're knowingly
don't
killing
care.
children. And you're saying up to 9. I know you don't, and it's sadistic.
Well, that's not really an argument. I'm still waiting for an argument on why someone ought not have an abortion.
Well, they ought
Because
not
you've
have an
already
abortion
agreed
because
that there are reasons where killing human life is fine. You've
Mhm.
already agreed that there are it's not always wrong to kill innocent babies. So what's the argument?
Right. Well, there's mitigating circumstances, and I think if it's about convenience, if we're talking about the vast majority of abortions, I'd say it's not justified. But if it's
What do you mean
life
by
of the mother,
convenience?
well, someone says, "Well, I don't have the money to afford a child, or how am I going to raise a child? My future's over. I'm not going to be able to pursue this career that I wanted to pursue." Things like this.
Okay, I
just
still don't know what
selfish.
convenience means, but I'm sorry. Are you saying that people who can't afford to have children should have children?
I think someone who's having a child needs to have that child and either put it up for adoption or find the means, rise up, reach out to their community, reach out to their family. If they don't have either of those things, make those things.
So
that's
I
what
don't
America's all
know, like
about.
this is okay. So now you've brought into the idea of adoption, which I take issue with because I just think adoption is just child human trafficking, as well as why when we talk about individual responsibility and societal responsibility, do you think those are two distinct things?
Repeat your question. I'm still hung up on your comparing adoption to. I'm very hung up on that. But can you repeat your
Human
question?
trafficking? Yeah, adoption is human
Yeah, I
trafficking.
mean, the idea that instead of killing someone, finding a loving home to accept them.
Well,
That
one
process
second. I don't want to get too much on the
with
abortion, or I'm sorry, on the
with
adoption train, because
safeguards.
I get really triggered when people try to like virtue signal that
Well, you
adoption is
brought it
this
up.
You brought it up. You said the baby should be given up
It's
for
better than
adoption.
killing somebody. It's
Stop
better than killing
talking.
somebody.
Stop talking. You're trying to grandize adoption. So
Better than
I'm going to
killing.
make my point with this because I think it's a really interesting point. Are there societal
Okay.
responsibilities and are there individual responsibilities?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you think, is it society's responsibility to take care of a child that an individual does not want to?
I don't think that's a good option. No, I think the ideal is that the mother raises the child and reaches out to family and community. But the alternative to that person killing them, if the alternative is that they have to go into an adoption system, and kind of have a little bit of a harder
That doesn't
start than a
answer
lot
my
of
question.
people, the fact is that they get a benefit from that also. So there's everyone's
No.
dealt cards in life. And it's all about how you play them.
Look,
And
I'm
not being
really
a
not
victim. A
interested
lot of
in
people
kind of
who are
this like
adopted make great lives.
emotional. I'm really not interested in this emotional monologue. I just want to know, when it comes to individual responsibilities versus societal responsibilities, are there societal responsibilities that should be in place so that certain individual choices are not made?
It depends on what those things are. I think. Can you give me an
Okay.
example?
So, like, let's talk about like adoption and parenthood. So, you think it's fine for a parent to abandon their child and society take on
No,
that responsibility of raising them?
no. I just think it's not as bad as killing the
So, you're
child. And
against
in some
adoption.
cases, I don't prefer women to give up their children to adoption. I think that's a horrible, disgusting
Are you
thing.
against
A
adoption?
weak, awful thing. It depends compared to what.
Just in
If you
general.
compare it to,
Would you rather
it
force a
depends on.
parent? Would you rather force a parent to raise their child, or would you rather have them give them up for adoption?
Can you repeat your question?
Would you rather force a parent to raise their child, or would you rather them have the option of giving them up for adoption?
Well, would I rather and what is practical are two different things. I think what's
Right, I would
what's
like the
actually
would you rather.
practical.
Would you rather?
You said what I would rather is that they would adhere to that, because that's a law that I think should be followed. But I think what's
What do you
practical
mean
is
a law
that
that
we
should be
have
followed? I'm just
adoption.
asking if you want to force someone. So there are people who just don't
Right.
want to be parents, right? So I'm asking you, would you
True.
rather make
Right.
that person raise a child, or would you rather them have an option to where society takes on that burden and says, people who don't want to do this, we can put them up for adoption and find another person who wants to take on that responsibility?
Right. I think we need it. It's a necessary evil as a relief valve for people killing their children.
Okay,
And
again,
if
I'm not
people
even
can,
comparing this, is this better than abortion? I'm asking, would you
well, it's the
rather,
choice.
as law, require people who do not want to care for children to care for children,
Mm,
or would you rather have an
I
adoption
probably wouldn't.
system?
Between that and the adoption system, I'd go with the adoption system,
Okay.
because people don't follow laws. You could, for example, make a gun law, and people aren't going to follow it. So, I think having that in place
So
is
then
something that
you don't care if
is a
there aren't any
necessary
abortion
evil.
laws. So then you don't care if there aren't any abortion laws.
I don't care about what abortion law.
You don't care if we have a country where there are no restrictions on abortion.
Actually, there's no restrictions on abortion. Well, no, it's a human life, and I think we
Okay,
should
so you do
restrict
want
abortion.
laws. So you do want laws restricting abortion because then you think they'll be followed. Great. So again, when it
I
comes
think it
to
mitigates against it.
no, it
I think it
doesn't.
does mitigate it
No, we can
against
see that
it.
with abortion bans,
And,
abortions have gone up, maternal mortality rates gone up, infant
and
mortality rates
legal
gone up, but that's a
adoption
separate time. That's a
is
separate topic. I really
legal
just want
adoption is
an
the only
answer.
way to
I
prevent
really
black
just
market
want an
trafficking.
answer here. Should people be forced to raise their children, or should society offer another option to where they can relinquish that responsibility and someone else raises their children?
Yeah, we have it, and it's called adoption.
Okay, great. So and that's what you prefer, right? You wouldn't prefer that we get rid of adoption and just force people to raise their kids, right?
No, I think
So
yes.
you
I
you
think that's
want to.
pragmatically.
I'm
Pragmatically, I
asking what
think you
you
have
want.
to have it
I'm
that
asking what
way.
you want. Do you think it's okay to force people to raise children?
What I want and what's okay are not necessarily the same thing. I mean, forcing someone
Fine.
to raise a child,
Do you
I
want
think
to force
abortion's
people
okay.
to raise their children? I just want a yes or no.
No,
No, why?
because people would make a decision to kill their children more often if there
I'm
wasn't
not
the
even talking
option of
about
having.
abortion. I'm not even talking about abortion. Let's say abortion's illegal too.
Well, it's a factor, so it's one of the decisions that a person can make, and it's
Okay,
the
I'm
reason
just
I
gonna
have to bring
give
it
up
up
because you're not
is
answering my
because
question. I'm just gonna give up
there's
because you're not answering
abortion,
my question.
adoption,
So,
and raising the child are the three options that we're talking about here.
right, but we're talking about what ought to be, right?
Well, what ought to be is a person should raise their own child, but I don't think we
What
can
if they
legislate
don't
it that
want
way.
to? What if they don't want to?
Then we have adoption. It's a necessary evil that I wish
So
didn't
you would
exist.
rather
But
we
wouldn't need any government. If people could
society
govern
take
themselves, we
on
wouldn't need any government at all.
I'm really trying to make a point and I'm really trying to be patient, but it seems like you
You're
do not
really
just want to
struggling. Go
give
ahead.
me a clear answer.
What I think is
Go ahead.
happening, Ryan, is that you're not tracking what the
Oh, yeah.
question is.
Oh,
I
we got
want you
an.
to I want you to
What's your
stop. I
name?
want you to
Let's
stop.
start from the
I
very
want you
beginning
to
with you.
stop. I want you to
Let's start from the
stop.
beginning with
So
you.
here's what's going on. Right now you're muted. Okay? You're still talking to Kenzie. I don't know where that ego trip you just had was. I'm Jeff. I'm the host of the show. I was about to try to bridge the gap in communication. If you want the smoke from me, I can provide it for you. But I don't have my ego in this, okay? Kenzie has been very generous in trying to get you to track what she is saying. And I was going to try to say it a different way, okay? So now I'm going to unmute you. I see that you're talking. Nobody can hear you. As a matter of fact, just to be clear, I just set this up. Right now, I can hear you. Kenzie can hear you. The audience cannot hear you. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to, now everybody can hear you. So we're going to start again with what I was saying. So what Kenzie is trying to ask you is, generally, as a principle, if there is some sort of action or something that you think is a need of society that somebody doesn't want to do you think that society should bear the burden of that thing?
All right. And in order to answer the question, I need to make a distinction between what's legislated and what's ideal. Because I make a distinction between, in a perfect world that, where government wouldn't even need to exist in the first place, that's different than what's actually practical and how, if I were in a position to legislate, that I would actually legislate. If someone's doing something that's against the law, they ought not do that. And I think if we can create alternatives to killing children, then we ought do that. In a perfect world,
Okay, great,
there
great.
wouldn't need to be
I will
adoption
take that
because
answer.
women would
One
love their
second.
children. And, oh, now you're interrupting me again. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, because you've answered
go.
my
Have you-
question. And so I just don't care about the rest of what you're going to say because you've answered my question. You said that you do think
Okay.
society should create alternatives for people to where they don't have an abortion. Great. So if women are having abortions because they can't afford children, then society has failed in order to provide resources to people so that they can raise children. So your issue isn't with the individual's choice, it is with the failure of society.
I don't accept that it's in the richest country on earth. We're fatter than ever across the whole United States. We've got more nutrition
to
and water and
capitalism.
resources than any country has ever had ever. And this is a place where infant mortality is very low. We have good healthcare
Not so-
resources.
No. So you're just living
and
in
there's
la
no
la land
reason
then.
for women to kill a perfectly healthy baby.
There is. They cannot afford to raise the child. They might not even be able to afford to go through pregnancy and afford medical
convenient.
bills.
What does afford mean?
No, it's because they lack resources. This is how capitalism is designed. I think your position is just a point of privilege.
In that moment,
1 second,
in
because
9
when we
months,
look
they
at
might find
1
different
second,
resources.
when we look at it, statistically, 60%
Mhm.
of Americans are a $500 emergency away from abject poverty. Inflation is high as ever. Housing prices are as
Mhm.
high as ever. Medical costs are
Right.
as high as ever. Insurance premiums are as high as
Right.
ever. This idea
Right.
that people are not financially struggling and where a child would add to that stress is just ludicrous. That's absolutely a reality, even in the imperial core. So again,
Well, someone shouldn't be having sex if they're not in a position to financially afford a child.
So now you're changing your position again. So now the
No, that's
position
just-
is no, it is
it all
because
fits.
rather than acknowledging the failure of society, that society has failed to provide women with resources so that they can raise children, rather than saying, wow, maybe as a society, we should reorganize so that people have the resources to raise children. Instead, you're saying women should not have sex because
It should
capitalism
definitely
awesome.
be easier for women to have children. There's no doubt about that. It should definitely be easier for women to raise children and easier to financially afford it. And it is a shame that a lot of people aren't having children because they can't afford it. And it is a problem, but that doesn't justify killing
It
a
absolutely
human
does.
being
It
just so you can
absolutely
get your
wait.
jollies off.
No.
trying to-
Now you're making other
if
claims.
you're
Now
trying to
you're
get your-
making 1 second. Now you're making other claims
I'm
into your
making
position.
multiple claims.
You are,
I'm
and
making
it's
multiple
difficult
claims.
to have a debate when you make 9 points at once, and then I have to address your 9 points because then now you have to address 9 points that I made, and it's difficult when people lose
All
track
right,
of points. Okay, so it's got to be a point at a time.
Go ahead.
So it's interesting to me that you're now going to place these individual obligations on women rather than advocating in society that women just get additional resources.
There's not an obligation. A woman doesn't need to have sex.
You're saying then she should not have sex. So you're saying she has an obligation to even prevent her pregnancy by being abstinent rather than advocating in society that people should have access to resources. So if in the event they become pregnant, it's not bankruptcy, poverty, homelessness, all these things. That's wild to me.
People shouldn't be able to kill their children out of financial convenience because they can't imagine where to get resources. And the fact
Yes,
is,
they
there's
should.
24 hours in a day.
Do you know that 69% of people who have abortions are already mothers?
That's a
So
shame.
obviously, if you want to do this utilitarian perspective, obviously they're recognizing that their resources are already limited and they already have other people they need to take care of. So yes, they're going to stop
You
the
are the
pregnancy from
utilitarian perspective.
no, I don't.
Killing
Um,
children and sacrificing them for financial gain is the utilitarian position for sure.
no, it's not.
Because it's financially, it's children cost a lot of money, so it's financially
No,
advantageous.
this has nothing to do with my argumentation. Like I don't care if it's a Tuesday, she wants a taco and feels like an abortion. She can go get one.
Right, and it's
I think
disgusting.
any
how you
reason
value,
is fine
how
to
little
have an
you value
abortion.
human life is pathetic.
No, I just don't think women have an obligation to sustain pregnancy.
They do once they have sex, and they made the
They don't.
decision to
Okay,
have
so
a
now
child.
we're at a different argument. Fine. Now we're at a different argument. So you're saying women have an obligation to sustain pregnancy. So what's the argument for that?
What's the argument for women to sustain a pregnancy?
Yeah, women have the obligation to sustain pregnancy. What's the argument for that?
Yeah, because if they know that having sex can produce a child, and they decide to have sex, and that produces a child, they then at that point have the obligation because they know that there's a life in their body, and I believe they have the obligation to carry it to term.
That sounds like
and
just a
I
repetition
think raise
of the
it
claim.
ideally, but if they're inclined
Yeah,
to kill their own
begging
baby,
the
I'd much
question.
rather there be an actual loving family to take that baby away from that monster who can actually raise that child in a loving home with parents that aren't defeatist cowards.
Yeah, so we've now begged the question, and then we started with some poisoning the well drivel that I don't know what that has to do with anything.
You haven't
Go
told
ahead.
me again that none of that told me why women have an obligation to sustain pregnancy. You just told me they're
Because they have
aware that sex
control over-
causes pregnancy. Why does that create an obligation?
Well, the obligation is that they created a life through their own choosing. And because that life is created, they have an
So?
obligation.
Wait. No.
At least not to kill it.
No. When you say created a life of their own choosing, that I don't know what you mean by that.
So when someone has sex, they understand that the implication is that a baby can be created.
Correct,
they know that
but
that's
it's
a
not
risk.
their choice if they get pregnant or not.
It's all a part of the same thing. It is their choice because having sex
It is not
gets you
their
pregnant.
choice. There are people who want to be pregnant, who have a shitload of sex,
Abstinence is 100%
and they don't get
effective
pregnant.
form of birth control. Did you know that abstinence is a
Did you
100%
hear the last thing?
effective
Hey,
form of birth
did you hear the
control?
last thing that Kenzie said?
No, I didn't.
There are people who want to get pregnant and who have a shit ton of sex and don't get pregnant. So obviously, and there are people who don't want to get pregnant, who have sex once and get pregnant. So yes, it is your choice to have sex, but it is not your choice whether the zygote implants or not. That's just something that happens or doesn't happen. So
Sure, it's
even if
irrelevant
I
to
grant,
it even being there in the first
that they
place.
created life, again, I don't see how this is an obligation to sustain pregnancy.
It's not to end the pregnancy. The life itself grows from you, so there's no inherent obligation. It's the fact that you can't, I don't think, interrupt the process of life. Once you've started it, that baby
Why?
has no choice whatsoever.
Wait, why
I don't
can't
think
you
I think
interrupt
just
the
in
process?
basic fairness, the golden rule: do unto others
Why can't you
as you'd
interrupt
like
the
to be done
process?
to you. Well, because that would be killing a person.
Again, you've already said that it's not like you can kill people. It's fine. You said you even can kill innocent babies. It's fine.
Well, again, in the very rare circumstances that,
Right. So
the
you would
life
need
of
to
the
show me
mother,
why,
and
again, someone
case
has an
that could
obligation to
actually
sustain pregnancy.
potentially affect the future life of the zygote or whatever, that also, there's that balance. So we talked about that. But for I'd say 97% of abortions, it's based on someone's personal opinion of what they can afford, their convenience, their selfishness, their vanity as to what they want their career to look like, or
Yeah,
what
I don't
path
care.
that they were destined to follow.
Sure.
They're
Yeah.
their
All
own
of those
God,
things,
and in their
all
own
of those
world, they can
things can
kill
be
whoever.
factors. One second. All of those things can be factors of not only determining their quality of life, but also their survival.
That's weak.
It is weak to take in
I
all
think
accounts.
survival. I don't think. I think there's a very clear standard for survival when it comes. It's not, can I afford, fudge rounds this week, or do I need to, get skim milk versus whole milk this week, or do I need to put water in the
I think you're
cereal?
just look. I'm not really interested in your privileged perception of America because I
When there's a
really
will,
don't
there's a
think you
way. There's
know.
no
One
privilege here.
second. One second. No,
I
you
came
very
from
much have
nothing.
privilege. You don't think people are living in
came from
poverty and can't
absolutely
afford
nothing.
groceries in today's economy, and that's just not true. So, what was I going to say?
It's very difficult, but it doesn't mean you should
I
kill
want to ask
children
you a
for it.
question. I want to ask you a question. If there is one
Go ahead.
person who has a very rare blood type, and they also have a very rare tissue type, okay?
Uh-huh.
And there are 5 people who are sick and they're going to die. One needs a kidney, one needs a bone marrow transplant, one needs blood, one needs part of a liver. And these people also have very rare tissue types. And they are a match to this one person
Mhm.
who's healthy.
Mhm.
Should we
Yeah.
take this person's kidney, this person's bone marrow, this person's blood, and a part of their liver to save the life of these 5 people?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because there's no maternal connection. I think that's the only circumstance where that can be, where life is shared. I think a separate person has no obligation to another person, but I think a mother who makes decisions that brings a life into the world does have an obligation. And that
Okay,
guy
so
growing
tell me
up
what
didn't
tell me
know
what the
anything
symmetry
about those
breaker is.
people.
What does
The
being
guy
a
with this blood
mother
type.
What does
Say
being a
what?
mother? Why does being a mother create this obligation?
Because the mother decided to have sex that created the child. And when that guy was around growing up,
Again, that doesn't tell me
he didn't
why
live his
there's an
life
obligation.
doing anything related to those people. So there's nothing in his life caused those events to happen where they would need to be
Well,
fixed.
okay. So
But
now you've
in
switched
this
your argument
case,
to
the
now you
mother
switched your
caused
argument to a
it's the
causal
same thing. The
obligation.
mother caused the thing to happen, so therefore she's responsible
Okay.
for
Again,
creating
now
the life.
you're saying that there's a causal relationship.
A causal relationship.
Right, because she caused
What do you mean?
because she was the cause of action A, therefore she needs to do action B.
That's part of it. Yeah, I think if she's the one who initiates it,
Okay.
has
How do we
sex,
determine
knows that she's
so
having
if
sex,
let's just say
creates the life. Yeah,
so that last scenario I gave you, with the one person with a rare tissue type, if they cause a car accident and cause those 5 people to have kidney issues, need a blood transfusion, need bones marrow, then you do think we should take their organs.
it's an interesting scenario. So okay, so I'll flesh it out with you. So they're in the car. One guy's driving in one direction. They're all driving in a vehicle in the opposite direction. Why are they hitting each other?
I mean, it can whatever reason you want. Like,
It-
let's just say it was an accident that the person in the one car hit some
If the
ice.
guy caused the accident, let's say the guy was a drunk driver. I think in that case, let's say he hit them, but he magically had all the organs, and he was. Yeah, I think that's justified. I think
Okay.
if
So
saving
why?
all of
Great,
these
great, great.
lives.
Great. I'll take that. So because he's a drunk driver. So why is that relevant?
Because it goes to the responsibility aspect of it, the responsibility for bringing a life into the world, and the
No, I'm
responsibility
just
of
talking
someone
about
who
the
did
drunk
something they
driver.
shouldn't have done.
I'm talking about the drunk driver. I'm not even talking about abortion and pregnancy.
Right.
I'm saying
Right, they did
why
something they shouldn't have done. It's
they
justice.
shouldn't have done.
It's
So is it because it's
why
a
they shouldn't
rights
be drunk driving.
violation? Is it because you view it as immoral? What do you mean it's something they shouldn't have done?
They shouldn't have driven. Why someone shouldn't have driven drunk?
Yeah, is the reason, like when you're saying they shouldn't have done this, is it
Correct.
because
It's
now the
they
drunk driver
they did
has
something that
committed a
they
rights
knew put
violation?
lives at risk.
So is it a
Yeah.
rights violation?
Yeah.
Is it something that's immoral? Is it
I think
something
it can
that's
be both of those
illegal?
things.
Huh?
I think it can be both of those things.
Okay. So if we take those two things, that because now the drunk driver has this obligation because they've committed a rights violation or done something immoral, neither of that is true in the case of pregnancy. There is no rights violation by having sex.
There is.
There's no
there's a
rights
knowledge that
violation
it's
to create what rights violation occurs by creating a
what's
zygote?
killing the baby is
No, we're not
killing the
talking about
baby is the
abortion. We're not
violation.
talking about abortion. We're talking about the creation of the person.
Yeah.
Because you're
If
saying this
someone has
person's
sex
done something
and they know
immoral.
that having sex creates a person,
Right, but that's not
then
immoral.
no, it's not. But to kill it is.
Right, but wait.
Knowing that having sex
Again,
creates
I
a
don't know if this
person,
is a
and then knowing
tracking
that you're going to
issue.
kill it after, that is immoral.
Well, you don't know necessarily if you're going to have an abortion when you're having sex. Like that can always be on the table. But you're saying that drunk driver loses the right to their organs and body because they did something.
You ought to know. If you're having
One
sex, you
second.
ought to know that creates a person.
1 second.
And that you have an obligation to that person.
I don't know
You ought
why
to know
you're
that.
interjecting when I'm talking about something, because then it makes
I'll
me
let you
think
go
that you're
ahead.
trying to talk about something
Let me know when you're
else.
done.
Okay.
Let me know.
So you're saying drunk driver has an obligation to now give strangers their bone marrow, all their organs and their biological resources because they committed a rights violation and because they did something immoral. But in the case of pregnancy, you're not saying someone has to stay pregnant because they've done a rights violation. Getting pregnant's not a rights violation. Having sex is not immoral. So why do they have to sustain pregnancy?
For the same reason that the drunk driver needs to give up his organs.
Wait,
Because
but
they
you
did the
so
thing that
so 1
caused the
second.
thing.
Wait, but you didn't say that was true in the case of like let's just say they hit a patch of ice. So they didn't break any law, they didn't do anything immoral. They just hit a patch of ice and caused an accident. You wouldn't say that that person would need to give their organs.
No, I don't think so. No.
Right.
Because they're different
And
people.
when you're driving in winter, I think it's very reasonable to understand there's a risk that you might hit ice and get into a car accident. So
driving
again,
not
you're
to the standards,
pinning the
to
obligation.
not the conditions.
One
Yeah,
second.
it's
You're
immoral
pinning
to
the
drive against the
obligation.
conditions, and in doing so, killing someone is a bad thing. And I think in that scenario
Wait,
too, like
but you
driving
said in that
in
instance
hazardous
that someone
conditions,
hit
driving
the ice.
quickly and
1 second.
hazardously is immoral also. Even if you're not drunk, it's also immoral to drive hazardously.
What do you mean
And if you
driving
did drive
hazardously? They could have
hazardously
been going the speed
and
limit. They
killed
just hit a
someone,
patch of ice and lost
or
control of the car.
you should have been driving slower. You should have been driving according to the conditions.
So you do think they
Yeah.
think they should be forced to give up their kidneys and their organs?
If they were driving hazardously in bad
They
conditions
weren't
and they
driving
had control over the vehicle,
hazardously. They weren't.
how weren't they if they crashed the vehicle?
Because
If someone else
obviously there
hit
can
them, that's a
be
different story,
weather conditions.
right? And you drive in accordance to those conditions. Is that correct?
Do you know what black
and if
ice
you're not,
is?
you can get hurt, correct?
Do you know what black ice is?
I do.
It's ice you can't see, right?
Correct.
Great. So obviously they were driving in accordance with the conditions that they could perceive. They didn't see the
No, but they know
ice.
black
They
ice
hit the
exists.
ice.
Every driver who has a license knows black ice exists. It's a part of getting a license.
Sure, but you can't tell where black ice is my point. So
And the
because you
point
can't
is, you should
tell
be
where
driving
it
in a way that
is,
doesn't create an accident, because black ice
do
could be
you
in
do you
every
think
single
that
inch.
accidents
You should
just
be
don't
driving in a
happen?
way that you can drive on black ice every inch. When conditions are below freezing, you should drive in a way that
Conditions don't even need to be
will
below freezing.
5 miles an hour if you have to.
Conditions don't even need to be below freezing for ice to be present.
Just one quick question. Do you think every accident is the fault of a person?
Every accident is the fault of a person.
Every
I don't know
vehicular
what you mean.
accident, do you think you can assign fault to a person in every vehicular accident?
No. I think there's acts of God. You know, the tree falls down on a vehicle.
Okay,
You know, there's
great.
things that
So
you
we'll just
can't
put it
control.
within that context where
Okay.
no one is at fault. It's just an act of God, like a tree fell. Should that
Okay.
person be forced to give their bodily resources?
Are they going to die? Do we know they're going to
The
die?
other people are going to die? Yes. They will die if they don't get the kidney. They will die if they don't get the blood. Yes.
Now, will the guy who's giving up the stuff, will he die anyway? Because the
No.
branch came down, hit him. He won't die. We know he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because if he was already dying, like, definitely, like, I think he's obligated. But if he's going to live, I don't think he's obligated. I think that should
Okay.
be hashed out civilly.
So he caused
If he's going to die, yes.
Well, but by your purview, he's the cause of the accident, right? Because he's the one who lost control due to an act of God. Yet you don't hold the same.
No, the act of God is the branch falling down. He was not in control of that. But if we know he's going to die, and it would be just throwing organs away, and we can give it to somebody, I think he's right there. He is obligated.
Look, I'm just trying to establish how we determine an obligation to give someone your body.
Yeah, I think when you're dead, dead or certain to be dead.
Right. You've given several it's crazy now that you think that we can organ harvest without consent. I mean, that's a crazy take.
Tracking issues here are
But
insane.
look, you're saying that there are people who have an obligation to give another person life support to sustain their existence with their body, either with their body, with their organs, or with their biological resources. And I'm trying to determine how you determine this obligation exists. You gave it to me in the instance of the drunk driver. You're not tracking. You gave it to me in the instance that someone has committed a rights violation for someone. So now they have an obligation to give them their organs. But that's not present in the case of pregnancy. So now you're saying, oh, well, if they caused the person, and I'm trying to also see if you hold that outside the womb, that someone caused a car accident. Mm-hmm. Do they have an obligation to give the people that were harmed in that accident? They do now. So they don't even need to be drunk.
That's the difference between an act of God and someone causing it. So an act of God means they didn't cause it. And them causing it means
you said the act of God is the tree falling. So obviously the tree falling is the act of God. Someone is going to react to that. They're going to try and avoid the tree. And if in trying to avoid the tree, they hit the bus, therefore causing the accident because they tried to avoid the tree, do they now have an obligation to give the people they've harmed from that accident their organs?
No, because they did their best to avoid the tree.
Okay, so then there is then your causal argument's gone.
Of course not.
You can't say because someone caused something that therefore now they have this obligation, because you don't hold that principle. We just demonstrated that.
Of course I do.
No, you don't.
The act of God means they didn't cause it.
I'm telling you they caused it. I'm telling you okay, fine. let's just say
Or
that
they don't.
in
No one
all
causes an act of
instances,
God.
fine. Let's just say in all instances, if someone caused something, they should give the other person their organs. Okay, how do you determine cause?
Cause of what?
How do you determine someone caused something?
Well, it's an investigation, I guess. You know, that's what police officers
No,
do.
there should be a principle here. So like if let's say Jeff is walking on the
Justice,
sidewalk.
yeah, that's the principle.
One second. Let's say Jeff is walking on the sidewalk and he's about to cross the street, and I open my door and I hit him and he stumbles forward and a car hits him. Did I cause him to get hit by the car?
I don't know. I think partly. I think that he could have probably mitigated it.
Now let's say that his wife said, "Meet me at this restaurant," which is on the street that Jeff is walking on. Did his wife cause the accident since she told him to go to this area where I would hit him with my door?
I'm confused by your thing. So are we in a parking lot right now?
No, Jeff is
What
on
are
a
we talking
sidewalk.
about?
Jeff is on a sidewalk. He is walking to
And
a
I'm Jeff.
restaurant. He is walking to a restaurant where his wife
Okay.
told him to meet her. Okay?
Okay.
So the only reason he's on
Okay.
this sidewalk is because his wife said to go here. Now, when he's on this sidewalk, I open my car door and I hit him, and he falls into the street and gets hit by a car. So did I cause him to get hit by the car, or did his wife cause him to get hit by the car? Because he wouldn't have been on that sidewalk if she wouldn't have told him to meet her at the restaurant.
I think you did it because you're the one who actually hit him. That's why we have laws about
Okay,
hitting
so we're
people.
talking, so when establishing cause, are you saying it's the last link in the chain, the last action that needed to take place in order for the outcome to have occurred?
I'm not sure if that necessarily holds true. I wouldn't necessarily commit to that, but in this circumstance, for sure. And if in your scenario,
then again,
if I
we're
can
back
flesh it
to
out,
how do you determine someone caused something? Because obviously, for Jeff to get hit by the car, he would have needed to be on the sidewalk, which is where his wife told him to be, right?
well,
He
if
would
your
have
hand was
needed
connected to
me
the
to
door
hit him
that
with the
hit
car,
him,
with the door, and then he would have also needed the car to be there, right?
I mean, yes, but you can assume that traffic is in the road.
Right,
In this
right.
scenario,
So is it
yeah.
so okay, we'll even take the car out. Fine. So obviously, there are things that need to happen in a sequence in order for a specific occurrence to occur. So I'm asking you, which link in the chain is the cause?
I think physically battering somebody is the cause. If the momentum of you battering him caused him to fall back, and the continuation of that momentum caused him to go into an area that was dangerous.
So is it always the last link in the
link
chain?
You're going to have to let me talk for more than like 4 seconds before you jump down my
that was like
throat.
7.
If
but
you
okay.
don't even have a position to attack. You're just attacking.
I mean,
everything
if you
I'm
want,
saying.
I'll give you my position next, but we can finish up after this.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
No, I would like to do the
I'm
causal
interested to
thing,
hear
and
one
then I'll give my
thought
argument.
It's not just contrarian.
I'm sorry, what?
At the end of the day, someone who causes something to happen, like having sex, in that them not having made the decision to do that, if them not having done that didn't cause that thing, that's why we have manslaughter and murder. That's why they're different things.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you why I brought this. One second. I'm going to tell you why I brought this up, okay? Because when we're talking about a specific outcome, obviously there are a series of events that lead to this outcome. And if we're going to determine a cause, I would say the cause would be the last link in the chain if we're going to determine a cause, right? The last link in the chain when it comes to pregnancy is male ejaculation. Because I can have sex all day, every day. And if there is no semen that ends up in my uterus and ends up in my uterine tube, I don't get pregnant. So because male ejaculation, that's true, because male ejaculation is the last link in the chain, in order to support any kind of causal argument, you would have to say men are the cause of creating life. And therefore, if men are the cause of creating life, then obviously the woman has no obligation to sustain pregnancy.
Yeah, anything to not take responsibility. I mean, going into sex that men ejaculate, and women
Not
are the
inside,
gatekeepers of
not
sex.
necessarily inside
men,
me. If he's wearing a condom, that would
Men don't
prevent.
go around raping women, and that's why I think
Sure they
rape
do.
is
What
a
are you
very
Of course
talking
they
important
do.
exception to this thing.
What
What
kind
are you
of goofy
talking
shit was
about?
that?
Men go around raping women all the time.
And it's very, very wrong. But we're not talking about rape in this
I
case
didn't
with
bring up
abortion.
rape. You brought up rape.
No, that's the very rare exception. It's all tied to abortion. So I do believe in that case it's acceptable. I think it's a horrific thing that happens, and I think
I don't care.
on one
I don't
end
care, 'cause we're not talking about rape. This was just kind of a
it's
random red
abortion.
herring that
It's
you
all
brought up, and
abortions that
we're
babies
talking
that come
about
from rape
causal
are human beings.
obligation. We're talking about causal obligation. You're saying because someone had sex,
Right.
they caused the fetus
Right.
to exist.
And someone who
That's
was
not
someone who was
true.
raped didn't cause it.
I'm not talking about rape.
Well, we're talking about cause.
I'm talking about sex,
Did someone
right? If a
Right.
man, if
Right.
I have sex with a man and he does not ejaculate in me, am I going to get pregnant?
Possibly you actually could if he doesn't
How?
ejaculate
How?
through pre-cum.
Oh, so he
semen that
does
can kinda,
need, so he does need to have some form of semen leave his body.
well, there has to be. Yeah, your egg needs to be
So if we're
fertilized
talking
at the end of
about
the day.
that,
Like,
if we're talking about that, he needs to
ejaculation
have
is
some form, he needs to have semen
ejaculation
leave
is
his
not
body.
that. Sperm can
Guess
travel
who's in
through
control
through
over that?
the liquid.
Guess who's in control over
Did you
that?
know that?
That's men. And that's the last link in the chain. That is something that is necessary for pregnancy to happen. And that is on men.
Women are
So
gatekeepers of
again,
sex. The sex doesn't
let-
happen without your say-so.
the sex doesn't happen without men say so either.
Right, but you're the final arbiter. That we know this. Women are the gatekeepers
No,
of
men
sex.
Not
are.
of
Because
ejaculation.
if men control their biological
Men
material,
decided it would be rape. If men
if
decided
men
without you
control
deciding,
their
it's rape.
biological, no one's talking about rape but you.
The only reason sex well, it's important because it has to do with why causing a baby is created. It ties
It
into
is
this
male
this
ejaculation
abortion
that causes it. It is men's biological material ending up in the uterus and uterine tube. That's at the control of men.
and then mixing with what? What does it mix with?
What does it mix with? That's a weird way. It mixes with an ovum.
Sure. And are
That's
there eggs there?
Are there what?
Are there eggs there? Is that where
Eggs?
the female
Are there
egg
eggs
is?
in the ovum?
Sure. Is that
The
where
egg is the
that where the
ovum.
female
What the
egg
fuck
is?
is happening?
Right. And did the female decide to have sex and contribute her egg to the situation?
No.
It's a 50-50
Contribute
deal.
her egg? That's a weird way to phrase it.
No.
Do you
Yeah.
think women, one
Giving-
second, do you think,
Giving a
one
man
second,
permission to penetrate
What-
her
does not
is
give him permission to
participation in
impregnate
sex.
her. Does not give him permission to impregnate her. Men are the final link in the chain. If you're worried about unwanted pregnancy that leads to abortion, then you should take it up with men because they're the last link in the chain. If there's no semen in the uterus, if there's no semen in the uterine tube, there's no pregnancy.
It's like
And
saying
it doesn't matter how much
shooting
sex women
bombs
have.
into a country and saying like, because you didn't block these bombs, I'm shooting into your country. it's justified that I'm shooting these bombs into your country. You should
It's not.
not
That doesn't follow at
allow
all.
babies to be killed if you're entering into a sexual relationship where you know that can
why
be
do men
produced.
say the
You have
goofiest
control
shit?
over it. You'll do anything not to be accountable. This is a
Listen,
crazy
You
world
will
thing.
do anything
Real
not
quick.
to be
Anything not to
accountable.
be accountable.
We'll just clean it up, okay? Because all of this time,
Let's
Kenzie,
let Daddy here clean it up.
I do not know why it is that you're so fucking soft. I have no idea.
That I'm soft? Wow.
Me or
Not
your
you.
host?
No, you,
Oh,
the
him.
guest,
Oh.
you are so soft. So
Okay,
here's what
so
we're
there's
going
the
to
ad
do.
hom. Let's hear
Here's
the
what we're going to
actual- Let's
do.
hear the substance.
Here's what we're going to do. Let's get a clear
Well,
argument.
just the ad hom.
I don't know why
Just
it is
the
that
ad
you're
hom
still
from you, big
talking.
boy?
I do not know why you're
Just-
talking. So now you're muted. I'm the only one that can hear you, okay? I do not care about any of this meta. What we're going to do right now, I have on the screen a word processor called Pages. I'm going to type the letter P and the number 1. And this is what Kenzie has been trying to walk you through the nice way. Let me actually get it out of her way so that we can still see Kenzie while this is happening, right? And what I'd like, I don't know why it is that you're still talking, you soft fuck. What I'd like is a clean argument that having sex imbues, so the clear argument would be the substance, you soft fuck. The thing I'm responding to is the fact that you, listen, when I came on the line and you were like, let's have daddy clean it up, was that you hitting on me? Was that you just saying that you like the sheen of my face? You wanted to lay your head on my chest? Was that you? You said that, right? You said, let's have daddy clean it up. That was you, right?
For her daddy.
Okay, great. So that is not an ad hom. And when
It's
I
actually
say
my
that
uncle.
and when I say that you want me to put you over my bed and have you bite my pillow, that would be an ad hom.
It would be if you didn't actually.
Okay, so when you say that,
point.
when you say I'm daddy, that's not an ad hom. And when I respond to you saying I'm daddy by me saying I'll show you daddy by making you bite my pillow, that would be an ad hom. Do you see why I say you're soft? Let's get premise 1 for your argument that ends in the conclusion. Therefore,
why are you even here?
I don't know why it is that you're still talking.
Why are you fighting her battles?
I don't know why it is that you're talking. I'm letting you fight your own battles. Can you give me premise 1
why are you
of
such a
the
misogynist?
you're still talking. I'm giving you an opportunity to render an argument, which is what you should have done from the beginning. Can you get premise 1 for the argument that ends in the conclusion? Therefore, having sex imbues someone with an obligation to carry out the pregnancy. Let's get premise 1. Go ahead.
Are you ready to let me speak?
He just
Is
said,
that
go
premise
ahead.
1?
What else do you need?
Okay. So premise 1 is that a woman has control over who she has sex with. Okay. In having sex, okay, this is premise 2. In having sex, there is a substantial risk of getting pregnant. Okay. Getting pregnant causes the creation of life. Therefore, and to continue, life should not be ended. It's not forcing someone to continue. It's not ending. The life, she's giving life, the baby's
we're very
giving
sloppy
life.
right now.
It's a one-on-one process.
Hold on. We were very clean for 3 premises, and then you started rambling. So I've got premise 3, getting pregnant causes the creation of life. Then you said life should not be ended, but except that something. Can we get premise 4 very cleanly, please?
Life should not be ended. Abortion ends the life, and therefore that should not happen. I mean, this isn't complicated.
Okay, so conclusion.
Someone causes a life to
should
be
not
created.
happen. So just so you know, right?
It's your obligation to let life happen.
Wait. Therefore, that should not happen. Was that the conclusion?
Therefore, they should let life continue. It's not that they're forced to carry it. It's that the life should continue.
They are forced to carry it if it's against their will.
Okay, so really quickly,
They already consented to having the baby
I don't know
by
what
having sex.
yeah, hold on. You're just repeating the claim. Do you remember what I asked you for an argument for?
You're trying to break down my logic, but
I don't look, your argument is invalid
Well,
anyway, but
yeah.
it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
you haven't demonstrated that. You haven't demonstrated
What's
that.
the inference rule that's carried by your argument?
The rule is that
What is the inference rule that's carried by your argument?
cause has
That's not
implications.
an inference rule. What is the inference rule that your argument has?
I don't know what you mean by inference rule.
Okay, so inference rule is the thing that makes an argument valid. So I don't care about that though, because we have a separate problem. Do you remember the argument that I told you that I needed, what proposition I needed support for? Do you remember or no?
You didn't ask specifically. You just asked for my proposition.
I really did. And I said it twice.
I think why it's, if I can recall, why it's wrong to force a woman to carry a pregnancy.
That was not the proposition.
I think you were trying to have me state my counter to that. The premise was in my counter to that.
No.
I thought it was an open-ended.
Listen, I'm going to say it again. And this time what I'd like you to do, and we're gonna reset.
Try to be polite.
Okay?
We're two good
You're
guys
not.
here. We don't got to be mean to each other.
Listen.
Are you getting paid for this?
I don't know why it is you keep hitting on me. You had a whole conversation with Kenzie, and you didn't say nothing
no one's
about
hitting on you, dude.
You literally are.
I said you were her daddy. I said you were her daddy
no,
because
you
you're
said
coming in and saving her because she can't fight her own battles.
You said I am your daddy.
Bro, I've been debating you for over an hour.
And further,
No, I clarified that. I said you're her daddy. I've been saying this. That's the 5th time I've said.
Keep calling me daddy. I don't care about any of this. All of this is meta. This is all boring meta. I'm not even debating you. I'm trying to carry you to where you make a clean argument, which you are woefully unequipped to do. I'm unmuting you now. Okay. The argument that I want is one with the conclusion. Therefore, having sex gives you the obligation to sustain pregnancy.
Right.
Let's
Having
start again
sex
with P1.
creates children. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Having sex
so now
creates
P1,
children.
having sex creates children. Okay, cool. What's P2?
Do you agree with that?
No, but what's premise 2?
Oh, well, do you want me to flesh it out more?
Well,
How do
I think
you not understand?
I think it's
where do children come from?
Wait.
biochemistry.
My husband has a vasectomy. When we have sex, are we
Please.
creating children?
Listen, it's very sloppy to say
not
having.
necessarily. If you wanted me to split hairs with you,
You asked me a
we can do
question,
that.
and now you're talking.
two unaltered
Now you're asking me.
adult
Now you're
individuals.
talking after you've asked me a question.
You've created the condition of the vasectomy. That's the
Listen,
abnormality.
I don't care about any of that. You asked me a question, and now you're talking.
She brought it up. So, if you want to do a 2-on-1, I'm going to address what she says, and I'm going to address
The
what you
next
say.
thing I'm going to do is mute you
If you want to
one
do
more
the
time.
2-on-1, I'm going to talk to her and talk
If you
to
keep talking, I'm going to mute you one final time, and then we're going to get rid of you. You're not
You guys
auditioning.
haven't refuted a single thing.
You haven't made an argument yet.
Yes, having sex creates children, and
Okay.
you disagreed with that.
Listen,
It's like moronic.
Hey,
It's like
hey.
you're a complete moron.
Okay, so this is the final mute right here. It's coming. Now you're muted. Okay. Now you are unmuted, but nobody on the stream can hear you. I need you to understand what I'm saying to you. You're talking to Alex Trebek. You are talking to Pat Sajak. You are talking to Steve Harvey. You are talking to the person who is the host of the show. You are a nothing. You are a nobody, okay? My name is Jeff. I've told you that twice now. You have phenomenal tracking issues. Phenomenal tracking issues. Listen, hey, okay, so now you're muted again. I don't care about any of this. The fact that you fantasize about me while you're on all fours is irrelevant to me. The only thing I want is an argument. So far, you've given me the first premise, and now you're whining. I am going to unmute you for the stream. You said premise 1 is having sex creates children. You asked me if I agreed with that premise. Obviously, I disagree with that premise. That premise is actually straightforwardly false, but we can discuss that later. What is premise 2?
We can't move on to premise 2 unless you can agree with premise 1. And it's
Okay,
sort of
so
absurd.
really
you
quickly,
haven't refuted.
so we'll
We
just
have to-
look,
you have to-
look. Hey,
you have to refute premise
Marshmallow.
1.
Now nobody can hear you again. Okay, fine. I don't have to refute shit. You have to give me support for premise 1. That is how making an argument works. Okay, I don't have to say a single thing to you. Do you have? Let's do this. Since you want to do it the hard way,
There's not a
fine.
single
Let's
person-
do. I don't want you to talk. Every time you talk while I'm talking from now on, we're just going to rack up the concessions. And the concessions are, I don't even have to make an argument now. So now you're going to create an argument where the conclusion is having sex creates children. What is premise 1 of that new argument now?
So, sex is the primary process that the human beings are created when the male sperm meets the female egg.
So that is begging the question. Let's try with premise 1 again.
You guys are obtuse. I mean, everyone knows this.
Do you know what begging the question is?
You're so afraid of
That's
premise
cool.
2 and 3.
That's cool. That's great. That's great.
You can't even agree that
That's great.
So
having
afraid? What does
You-
that
you know
mean?
what's
volunteer
funny?
to have sex
You know what's funny?
enter the possibility that they can get pregnant.
You know what's funny is that I dropped him, but I asked him for fucking premise 2. I asked him for premise 2, and he goes, "I'm not going to give you premise 2 until we decide with the other premises." And then when pressed, when I said, "Okay, then let's support premise 1," you're afraid of premise 2. Why are they like this?
I didn't even catch that. That's funny.
Why are they like this? Like, literally, I said, "Hey, I don't agree with premise 1, but let's go to premise 2 anyway. Let me hear your whole argument." No. Okay, cool. Let's do what we normally do, right? And we'll just go ahead and support that premise. Well, then you're afraid of premise 2.
That's really funny.
That's
I
crazy.
love that I got him to agree it's okay to kill innocent babies.
Yeah, and look, the tracking was crazy because he was stuck on the special pleading of like, yeah, in all the things you said, we can do all the things, but it's an innocent baby. Nuts. Absolutely bonkers. Completely bankrupt. And look, W to you for being as generous as you were in walking him through it and not making him do the obviously Herculean task of generating an argument.
I mean, I'm surprised when we get people who even have an argument.
I get it. I get it. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it here because we are actually past the 9 o'clock mark. I really wanted you to get the cooking in, but I don't know how you didn't like ram your head against the wall after explaining it to him for the 5th time.
Well, I really do try and give people the benefit of the doubt that maybe if there's a clear way to explain it, we'll get there. But I don't know what's hard to understand about like how do you determine someone is the cause of something? Like I said, you're not on the street. If Tiff didn't tell you to meet me at this restaurant,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have been there for me to hit unless Tiff put you there. So like that's what and I don't feel that was a really difficult thing to understand because I could just equate that to sex and then me hitting you with the door as fertilization.
I think what happens is sometimes people try to guess where you're going, or try to analyze like both sides of the argument at the same time, and then they get confused and they have no idea what, like, instead of answering the question that's right in front of them, they start saying all sorts of other stuff. Oh shoot, I forgot to
I mean, even asking like, do you think there should be societal obligations that alleviate the individual or take over specific things that people don't want to do? Like, I don't even think that was a hard question.
It's really not. It's so much easier than people give it. I don't even know if it's credit. Like, every one of the concepts is on its own, easy to grasp. Every single question is, I mean, some of the questions are like trolley problems, so I can see how they can take some thinking to get past. But if you're set in your position, like, you should be able to, elucidate it for everybody. Anyway, I finally connected the new Stream Deck, by the way. I just have to fill all the buttons.
Oh yeah, I
with
was gonna ask
cool
if you were gonna
things.
show everyone your new deck because it was really pretty.
Well, now actually, no, the wire's long, so I do, hold on. When you guys wonder how it is that I'm monitoring everybody, this is the new toy. It's got the dials for volume and stuff, but with a press of a button, I can make it so that the caller we're able to hear them, but y'all ain't. So I'm saving y'all from extra stuff. Also, nobody's mentioned this. I put it in a Discord. I don't think I got a response, but I got new glasses today, and I'm rocking my new glasses.
I get upset when people don't notice new stuff like that, but I gotta say, like, were your other glasses that much different?
Yeah, they didn't have like the bottom part. Like, these are super light. Like, they're Ray-Bans, but they're like carbon fiber. Like, somebody from work, when I put them on, they noticed it right away, and they were like, they're giving me like the model number. I'm like, I clicked on glasses and I said I like these. They're like, this. They started with this material, and you got to do X, Y, Z. I'm like, they're just the thing I see through. I don't know.
No, because I feel like my glasses, like, those are obviously very, like, they're huge, they're green, they were. I'm just wondering if yours is a subtle difference, or like like if you would have come on the stream with bleached hair, I'd be like, wow, you got your hair done. But with your glasses.
No, I think glasses overall, unless I think you're right. Unless they have like some crazy effect, they have like that Clark Kent effect. Like, I wear glasses, I'm still wearing glasses, and there's nothing really to notice. Like, if I was on the stream and I wasn't wearing glasses at all, that you would probably notice. Like, wait,
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd be like,
immediately.
where are his glasses? He can't see without his glasses.
Hopefully you wouldn't be like, who are you? Like everybody in Metropolis does. But on that note, I am going to call it here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out.
No, thank you, Jeff. This was fun.
Yeah, it was. And we got more. We actually got callers, so that was cool.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll start getting callers soon that know what an argument is, or inference rules, or anything philosophy related. There were so many like philosophically controversial things in both the calls we got today. Like, I want like people who know what they're talking about, so that we can have these convos and not be teaching the person how to do it. Do you want to? Do you see this being something you want to do consistently?
No, yeah,
argument thing?
this is fun. I would like to expand into other platforms, build a little bit more an even base, garner a little bit of a bigger audience, and obviously have more access to more ops. No, this is great.
Yeah, dope. But on that note, everybody, thank you for hanging out. Hit the pay links for Kenzie.
WDU, Tiff.
Hit my pay links. Do all of the things to make sure that we can continue to do this. The goal is to have as many of these streams as possible. And the only way to do that is to continue to support. For example, tomorrow, Do you know who's going to be here tomorrow?
I don't.
Adorna.
Oh, Adorna! Wow. Prepare for intellectual violence.
So I'm telling y'all, I'm trying out here to get people who are over there on that other app to come over here. So I want to see, like, when I have my co-hosts here, I want to see them supported. I want to see the platform supported. I want to show that, like, hey, we can do better than those galaxies and gifts and all that other shit. We can do so much better over here than over there. But I will see y'all tomorrow. If you're not on the Discord, join the Discord. If you haven't hit like yet, then you hate us. I don't know what's wrong with y'all.
I work so hard so Jeff can stream. W for you putting him on the sidewalk so I could hit him with my car door.
W. And like I said, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.